Related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sixth Borough. Want to give some shout outs to our sponsors, Hideaway Lounge and Club Palm Beach, Get Solar with Tom, Pizza Rica, Boca Raton. Ladies and gentlemen, quick shout out to my hosts and hostess. Give it up for Mag Chop Kenny. Give it up for Joe Rubo. And of course, the beautiful Denise. My name is Nico. Take it away, Denise.
Welcome, everyone. Another Friday night, and here we are at the Sixth Borough. And tonight, we are live from Boca Raton, Florida. Tonight's going to be a crazy one, right, Denise? I see you got a lot of notes there.
We have a lot of notes. This is Denise with the Sixth Borough, your favorite host. I just want to make sure everyone knows that we have a really good show lined up for you. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be just us tonight. I like that. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be just us, and then the second hour, we have an interesting conversation about...
We will behave.
You will behave. They're already starting to interrupt. How are they going to behave? Oh. So we're going to be going over a whole bunch of different things, but we have some things to talk about that's been in the news.
Yes.
I got a lot of notes and a lot of news to cover. Honestly, I think that we have to turn some of it over to our best over here, which is Kenny Magchop. He has some things to talk about.
I got a few things, yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
The first thing or the second thing?
Yeah, I got stuff going on. So this weekend is the Florida Renaissance Festival.
It is. Have you ever gone?
I went a long time ago. It's at Quiet Waters Park in Deerfield Beach, Florida.
Well, actually, it was last week. It's been going on all week.
Oh, is it going on all week? Well, I saw that. I guess tomorrow's must be a big day. So tomorrow's the day to go, apparently.
I've actually been there once before, and these people really get in character.
Yeah.
They really think that they're back in time in the Renaissance.
Oh, they take it serious, too.
Very serious.
I knew the girl who played for like 3 years, the Queen. And when I tell you, they take it so serious, like behind the scenes and everything.
They're professional actors and actresses.
Yeah,
I know
like
several of them. They
they're
have
living
the all authentic wardrobe, what have you.
Well, I've been there a few times, and between the food, the beer, the drinks that they have, just watching everything that goes on in the costumes and the attire, the events that are going on, the music, it's really a fun place to go.
Back about 10 years ago or so, I had a restaurant in that area, in Deerfield area, and they used to all come after they were closed to the restaurant and hang out. So I had all these people dressed up in my lounge and stuff. It was
a bunch of fairies and wenches all in
all that
restaurant.
kind of stuff going on.
Oh, yeah, and it's serious. It's a trip. What I remember of it, the first time I was there, I was like, wow, they were really into it.
Takes you back, right?
Yeah, and then when I met the girl that was the Queen, she used to tell me, and she was like, I mean, they can't, they have to obey no matter what. Like, it was wild. So
my kind of girl.
There's some crazy stuff.
No, they have to stay in
there,
character. I know my buddy was the king. I had to hire him for a bunch of events, but he was a king for a long time, and you have to stay in character.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, the costumes are a lot of fun. You can actually buy costumes, too, and put them on. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This guy, he's a mechanic. And he looks like, he would belong in those times. Got the long gray beard, real skinny guys, all tatted up, right? And they pay him just to walk around.
Oh, no way, because tats were big back then.
They're making a great big comeback, right, Joe?
What the heck?
There's also
Joe's giving me the medieval look. Look, I wish we could zoom in on him. Dun, 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 dun.
There's a couple car shows going on. Nico, I don't know if you're going to be going to Cars and Coffees in Boca this weekend.
No, I'm not. I'm actually booked all weekend, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I know they're doing one in Boca. There's one called Rides and Coffee down in Davie. So there's going to be some cool car shows. If you're looking to show your ride, this is where you want to go this weekend in South Florida.
There's a lot of things. Always. That's the beauty about living in the Sixth Borough. There's so much to do, so much to see. Our weather has just been the best cooperating with us.
It's getting warm again.
And the north has been suffering with their cold snaps. Or actually, they've actually had a warm snap, and they're bouncing back and forth.
Where's it snow? It's snowing somewhere now. In Minnesota, they're getting...
Buffalo. I think Buffalo. It's been snowing. They've had ice storm.
Minnesota had like 4 feet of snow I saw on TV.
I really love these snowy winters from Florida.
Me too.
That's what they get for living there. Why would you live there? If
I
that's
don't
what,
miss
you
that.
know what I mean? Imagine being
no.
retired.
For
And
all
you
of
got
you
nothing
that,
else to do but to shovel your driveway and mow your lawn. Like, who does that?
and it looks like a nuclear bomb went off with no
unbelievable.
trees, no leaves on the trees and whatnot. Listen, the sixth borough was named after everyone that wanted to come back or now lives here that has come from the Northeast, or
Yeah.
for that matter, any city where they've experienced city life and now they're here.
Out of here, but please stop coming here.
Yeah,
Leave us
Right?
alone.
I know
Full.
the 95
We're
is like California
full.
already.
We're full.
Yeah.
And just a quick interjection in regards to the car shows. It's Fuel Fest, which is run by the guys who do Fast and Furious. That's going to be in West Palm Beach on Sunday. Just so you know, it's a big
nice.
car show. A lot of like Ludacris, what have you. A lot of celebrity artists perform, and
wow.
it's put on by the guys from the Fast and Furious, the actors.
Yes.
all the main actors.
Oh wow, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
All right, there you go.
So, like,
everyone,
Vin
you have
Diesel
something to
be
do this
there.
You're going to be
weekend.
there?
No, I have actually Joshua's bar mitzvah. But nonetheless, what? It pays better than the Fuel Fest. Come on down to Fuel Fest. Wait, l'chaim. We're going down to Joshua's bar mitzvah. Nico, listen to me. It pays more. Go to the bar mitzvah.
I got a nice
Nobody
envelope for
knows
you.
you.
Shout
Who
out to
cares?
Joshua.
Who is
Shout
so
out to
hot
Joshua.
outside? I get vault. Hey.
That's great.
So no, I'm doing Jacob's bar mitzvah. I think on Sunday.
All right, well, shout out to Jacob. Congratulations to him. So
Makayim.
we
Me
have
so tough.
we have actually, do you know what today is? National
Friday.
Tortilla Day.
Oh no way,
Wow.
Yeah, National Tortilla Day.
Kenny.
Who knew?
Oh.
I didn't know this one.
He's a Spanish guy, so you figure you bust him a little bit. You
I
know,
had
Kenny, it's
tortillas
tortilla night,
yesterday,
buddy.
so-
What are we doing? Huh? How are we
I don't
doing?
know. I had tortillas yesterday. I didn't know the date.
See, that was his
I had
accent comes in
tortillas yesterday,
tortillas.
too. Stuffed shells.
What kind of tortillas did you have?
Yes, well, there's actually different kinds of tortillas.
What kind of
Shells.
tortillas?
It depends where you're from. So if
Where are
you're
you from? He's from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
He'll
What
take it
kind of
any way he
tortillas
can
do you
get.
have?
He
I
likes
get
a
'em from the
tortilla in his
Mexican
boca.
eye.
See, tortillas, he gets them from the Mexican store.
Oh, you can- What's the Mexican store? Oh my God, I didn't even know about that one. Oh my God, I'm not as racist as you. Meet me at the Mexican store. I'm like, which one?
The
What?
bodega. That's
Well,
the
no,
Puerto
it's-
Rican store.
No, yeah. There's a store. My wife has been calling it Ideal, and I was like, and she tells me where it's at, and I go, oh, the Ideal.
Yeah. That's actually the baby store, isn't it?
No,
In
they
the
got
alley?
everything in there. If you want Spanish food, that's where you
Everything.
go.
They
We're
got
gonna have to
blue
hire
cards,
the.
yellow
They're gonna have to
cards,
plug.
blue
We have to
cards.
charge them for this.
I just, everyone should be paying us for the purpose of bringing everyone's business up.
Yeah, and now everyone goes, oh, and now I know where to go.
Exactly. Well, listen, National Tortilla Day, in actuality, a tortilla is different to different, although it's Hispanic and Latin origins, it means a different food for everyone. And like I know from Spain, a tortilla is actually a mixture of eggs and potatoes. It kind of looks like it's in a pan, it's round and whatever. And then a tortilla could also be something like, looks similar to a closed up taco.
Hold on. What is this? This egg and
Or marigot.
What
That's
is this
rolled
egg?
up.
sounds like it might taste good. Like, what's going on here? What am I
No,
missing?
Well, the Spaniard side of my family, our person would make.
Do you know how to make them?
Yeah, I can actually. It's very simple. It's eggs and potatoes put in the pan, and it comes out looking like a tortilla.
Nico, have her make you breakfast. You
I
know,
was gonna say maybe we should sleep over for this one. It's a sleepover.
sleep over.
It's a 6 borough sleepover. We're live behind the scenes.
Pajama
She's
party at
making
Denise's
all.
house.
Pajama
Waiting
party
all
at
night,
Denise's.
been
Oh
waiting
my
for
gosh.
this. Let's get the food out.
Have a sleepover with the second half of the show.
Hey,
Oh,
there it is.
Lord.
You know, I'll tell you right now, your dad is calling me on my cell right now, kid.
Hey, see? From the,
Right now.
from the grave?
Raffle
Trust
ticket
me,
prices
bro.
just went up.
Yes, exactly.
Daddy, spin the wheel because you're
Oh, there it
not
is.
Oh, look at that.
Tortilla. There you
Look at
go.
that.
I thought tortillas were
God,
flat.
What is that? That's a
Uh,
tortilla?
no, that's a
That's a-
Spaniard version of a tortilla. This
Yeah,
is
that's
what we
some
used to eat when I
Spaniard.
was
You
younger.
just-
Isn't tortilla what you put the taco stuff in?
Well,
That's a
that's a
tortilla.
Mexican one.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Yes, it
I get
looks
the
like a
ones on the
flour
left.
flatbed.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
add tortillas
So those of
to
you who
my
are listening on the radio, we
Spanish
have
verbiage.
different tortillas picking
The soft one's my favorite.
coming up on the
Do
screen
you like a
in
salty
front of us.
tortilla?
We're
Yeah.
talking about. I
Spicy
cannot speak.
tortilla?
Well, anyway, if anyone actually knows the best place to get a tortilla, you're free to call.
Yeah, give us a
and let's
call.
hear it. Who do you think has the best tortilla that you've experienced?
Kenny's wife has the best tortilla I've seen.
Yes, for sure. And yes, indeed, this
I'm
is
not
a
tortilla
PG-13
hunting, but I'll tell you
show.
right now.
So tomorrow is Clam Chowder Day,
Oh, there we go.
National Clam Chowder Soup.
New England or
Well,
Boston?
that's a good question. Which one is the red one?
New England. No.
That's Manhattan.
Boston.
Manhattan.
Manhattan.
Come on,
Manhattan.
Joe.
New England's the creamy.
The white one. Yes.
Yeah,
That's the better one.
Yeah, boy.
Manhattan's.
Doing good, Joe.
I don't like Manhattan clam chowder. I like the New England.
Yeah, New England's the one.
So that's tomorrow. And then this is the one I love the most, the 28th, which I believe is Monday. That is Public Sleeping Day. National Public Sleeping Day. Where did they come up with this?
Well, you just go to sleep in public?
I guess you just go to sleep in public.
So we have a siesta.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go do it.
Gonna go do it on the park bench.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, cousin
I'm
Anthony.
game.
I love
Say hi to
cousin Anthony.
Well, today I was falling asleep at work. It should have been a public sleeping day today. I was so tired.
Well, listen to me.
Yeah.
If you get caught at work sleeping, you can simply say
I was on my
respecting-
computer like this.
You are respecting National Public Speaking Day and Sleeping Day, Public Sleeping Day. And if you're caught at work sleeping,
Where did they come up with this crap?
I don't know.
Like
There you
that.
go.
Kenny, it's you.
Me.
Public Sleeping
Actual
Day, there
footage.
it is, sleeping on a chain in New York.
Look at this guy's hammock.
Oh my goodness. Well, if you're not watching the show live,
That
you
does
can
not
do
look
that.
comfortable. Oh my God.
Lord.
This is just even better. Listen, if you're driving along 95 and you're listening to the show, or wherever you may be, you need to actually also know you can see us live.
That was me that night at.
Denise, you can't tell people if they're driving to turn us on so they can see
I
it.
know, I can't, but you can actually
can't do
catch us
that.
later on. Whatever you do, don't stop
you-
looking at the road.
You can see this. You could watch. You could go home. You could go home and watch it later.
Yes.
It'll be on our site. You gotta see this stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, some of the things that we show.
That wasn't
obviously
public
you
speaking day. That was public intoxication day.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought that'd be a lot of fun. So any of you that are out there that do engage in sleeping in public, just know it is on National Day. How's that? So listen, we had some events that we went to this past weekend.
Yeah, we'll have
We
the
had a
clip. We'll
lot
have
of
the
fun.
clips from it for next week. I
We'll
hope.
have some clips from it. Yes, finally. The
Yes.
80s concert.
I didn't even know they really looked like we were in the green room. We're standing with them.
We didn't even know it was them.
Spanish guy, he looked like he was like malnourished. I didn't know he looked like a bag of UNICEF bottle. I didn't know what was going on there. I was gonna give him a couple bucks, and turned out he was an artist that was like Coro or something. I was like, oh, he looked like the guy with the Juan Valdez's nephew.
What about
with
the little guy with the hoodie on?
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
burrito. It was crazy.
Say, who's this guy?
That's who he's talking
That's
about.
what I'm talking about,
No
Coro.
names.
No names, no names.
Oh, no names. Yes. There was a correlation that I had.
Here's some pictures from the event.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
we have
that's
some of the
Jake
pictures.
Jaquan. He's going to be in the
Yeah,
studio
Jake Wan's
live.
gonna be there.
Yeah,
Oh,
March
there,
10th he's
there's
coming.
Nico.
He's
Yeah.
actually gonna. They're gonna perform, right?
Yeah, they're going to
Nice.
perform live.
Oh, yes.
And
they
if
are.
you're an artist and you're interested in performing live in our studio, go to our website, get in touch with us. That's going to be a new segment we're going to have coming up.
Yes.
That's
New
right.
artist segment.
Boca's Got Talent, baby. Let's go.
There you go.
And we'll be judges, you know. If you're a juggler, a aerialist, a contortionist,
We're just
inbox
singing,
us.
just
Hit us up on
singing
our
artists.
website.
We don't need any other crap in here.
No, whatever it is. It doesn't. We'll make it into a
It doesn't
circus.
matter. If you have
In
a
fact,
talent,
quick
let
shout
us
out to all
know.
the little people out there. Denise happens to love
Yes.
little people.
The
So
midget
I know I
band.
got Boca Raton locked down on little people, but anybody happens to be passing through that wants to stop by the studio, a little
my
person,
God.
a little girl.
Oh, yes.
I have a funny story to tell.
Funny
about,
how.
Not the marriage one. Not when you got married, right, Kenny? Not that one, right? Not the marriage one. Okay.
No,
We get a
About
few
the
pictures
show.
of
Story
About the
Denise's
show?
about the
lap.
show. So we were busy. We were interviewing. We were walking back and forth. We were trying to
At the concert.
At the concert, going back and forth. Nico and I were sitting there. We were, getting everybody ready for the interviews. And, and I turned to him and I go, "Man, I'm hungry." He
Oh,
goes, "Me
God,
too."
that was so funny.
He goes, "Me too." So I was like, we're sitting there
I
looking
was
around.
starving.
And there was
Famished.
There was
we were
they had
famished, dude.
those packages of sandwiches.
Yes.
So there was a sandwich there, and so
Two of 'em.
there was two of them, and so I look away, I look back, one's gone, and Nico's gone. Right, he's down behind the stage.
Survival of the fittest, bro. I said, yo, bro, it's the time. We got to get whatever we got to do, and let's go. So I snatched one. I made
and
a
I
run
grabbed
for
the
it.
other one. Right,
Then
like,
he
let's go.
grabbed one. I ate mine quick.
Well,
though.
monkey see, monkey do.
So we're sitting there behind the stage. We're talking, eating the sandwiches, and one of the
Celebrities get off the stage and is looking for his food.
and he's looking for his food.
And we're dying. Kenny's like, he's looking for the
I'm
food.
like, what are you guys
oh my
laughing
God,
at?
I was dying.
The guy was looking. You know that look when you put the 10 millimeter down and it rolls away somewhere? He had that. He was like. He was, and me and Nico were dying, and then Joe sees us because we're dying
You were
laughing.
laughing. What are you guys doing? Then he told me, I started cracking up.
Any sandwiches left?
That's what I said. Where's mine?
And this is what I work with, folks. This is it. People that steal sandwiches, for heaven's sake.
We were hungry. We were there for
quite some time.
Then
we were there.
unfortunately-
Yeah, they're trying to order a drink. You needed a translator at the bar.
Oh my God! Nobody spoke.
No,
What was
I said,
that?
where are we?
I couldn't even order a
Parrot
drink.
Jungle.
What about
Agua.
what about going home, Nico, with those little narrow things?
They were all
my
parrots
God,
that were
bro, we
serving us.
couldn't
We
get
understood
out.
nothing.
Rolling over everything in his truck. It was unbelievable. It was a night
We're
to
going through the
remember.
narrow things like this.
Well, actually, I think the one part that I really appreciated the
Check.
most was the opening of the show.
Yes,
when Charlie
that was great.
Rodriguez, the founder and the creator
Oh,
of
great guy.
the
Great.
concert, got everyone up and held the American flag and waved it across, and everyone sang,
Proud to be an
"Proud to
American.
be an American." Yeah, that
Lynn
was really
Greenwood
very.
song.
It was very, very emotional and
very
and,
touching.
super touching. Someone that has a really great patriotic heart, and so we have to give kudos for that segment. That was
Absolutely.
really very touching. The whole audience, all 2,000 or whatever of them, up, swinging arms right and left, and just the flag was waving. So it was really a great moment, and it was a great
It was a
show.
great show. Those guys really performed. They did some performances, all of them.
They did, and they're going to be back at it again in August.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't wait. I'm gonna get a gig co-hosting that. We need to
We're
be a
gonna
little bit
working
more.
that. We're gonna work
yeah,
that
a
so
little bit
Nico
more
can
on
actually be the
scene with
DJ.
that one.
I think we should stream live from that show.
Stream live, host
working
it, whatever
on
we
that.
gotta do.
Yes.
And then Sunday night, don't forget,
Don't forget about Sunday night. What happened Sunday night?
we went to the Uncle Louie Variety Show,
That we did.
and it was hysterical.
It,
And then these guys are like, "Come hang out with us." I go, "Okay, you right here?" "No, we're in South Beach, like it's around the corner." Come hang out with us in South Beach. Then they told me that the next day they towed their trailer to South Beach because they don't fly, these guys. They
drive
around in a
everywhere.
trailer, and there's no
from
place.
Syracuse, New York.
There's no place to park the trailer, and I said I could have told you that. So they had to take the trailer all the way back up to Port St. Lucie or whatever, and then drive back to Miami and park the trailer.
What?
Could you see these guys
Oh my
cursing in
goodness.
That's a
Italian the
lot
whole
of
way?
effort.
Cursing in Italian, like
The
forget
whole way.
it. They're never coming to Florida
I
again.
would have stopped
But
in
we actually-
Hollywood and abandoned it at a U-Haul. The hell? I'm not going back to. What did you just say? Orlando? What did you say?
I think up Port
Syracuse.
St. No, they're staying someplace
Syracuse.
up North Florida.
I would have sold that
Not
car as
Port
quick
St.
as you
Lucie,
spit
but
on the
it's far
floor.
up
I'd be
there.
like, for
Palm
sale.
Beach. I know how to
no
pick
way
them
I'm
up there
driving
once.
there. That's near Buffalo, New York. I know this guy. He's a real idiot.
These
totally
guys
from
don't
Buffalo.
fly. They drive that trailer everywhere.
Total
Well,
moron.
listen, all
Eat
said and
wings
done
all
with.
Great weekend
It was
we
a
had.
great weekend. Their show was great. Again, the Uncle Louie Variety Show. You can catch them actually on YouTube. Watch their shows. It was at the Boca Black Box, and we are going to be working with them.
Yes.
And so we're going to be collaborating and bringing on some of their talent onto our show before the actual show.
The owner, what's his name, Randy?
Randy Singer.
He's going to be coming on soon, right?
That's right. Next Friday he'll be on talking about the Boca Black Box.
So we're going to do something with comedians. We're going to do something with singing artists.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very
missing one element.
This is going to be the variety show now.
It is. We're missing an element. If you are
The strippers.
No, we're not.
Oh,
doing the
We call them
Not that
interactive entertainers, Joe. Jeez, he's so classless.
Someone help.
I
me.
mean, dancers.
You've been booed. Get the hook. Get the hook.
The hookers?
Remember the
What?
remember the Gong Show? We should get the gong on you.
He's got the buzzer there.
No, he does.
I got a "that was easy" button.
Oh, okay.
That was easy.
Yeah, it's an easy button. No, actually, we are also going to be introducing, if you're an author or writer of a recent book
right.
release,
Good idea.
you can come on our show and we will do a segment with you so you can talk about your book and everyone else gets to hear the inspiration behind your book and where you can be seen for a book signing and so on. So we're willing to work with you. Please, if you want to be heard, and we have a reach of 10 million people, if you haven't heard that right now, please, again, 10 million people is our reach.
Right.
We can give you a lot of exposure and we can run you all week long even if you wanted to.
We had Tommy Harding talking about his book last week.
We did have time.
Oh, that was amazing video, amazing interview.
Great guy,
very
great friend. He
touching,
took
heartfelt.
pictures with everybody. Did you see all the pictures he took?
Oh yeah.
Speaking of books, I got to bring this up. I'm going to see the first draft of my book
Are
finally
you?
this
Wow.
week. Yeah, this week finally.
Oh wow. So we
Rough,
gotta get
rough
on
draft.
We gotta
yeah.
get in the cover
yeah.
thing.
So as soon as that's done, we'll let you guys know. I can't reveal too much. Donna is the author. She'll get very upset if I reveal too much.
We don't want that.
Hey, we have a caller.
We have a
have a caller?
caller.
Who's calling?
Who's there?
Who's calling?
Gunner?
We have any comments? No comments are flashing.
know.
Oh yeah, we
Who's
saw
on the
Anthony.
line?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Hello? Hello? Yes, hi, this is Gunnar.
Hi, Gunner.
Hi, Gunna.
Oh, how are you?
We're
You're
doing
the worst
great.
acting Asian I've ever heard. What is you? Where are you from, Gunner?
What?
Where?
Oh no, I'm from Sweden. Sweden.
Oh,
Sorry,
you're from
sorry.
Sweden.
My accent's a little too heavy.
Oh, yes. Joe knows a lot of people from Sweden. A lot
Yeah.
of his friends are
Swedish
Swedish.
meatballs.
Oh, really? Oh, Joe goes Sweden. Joe just knows Swedish bikini team. He doesn't know Sweden. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know Gunnar.
No, he doesn't know the Gunner.
Got to be Matt.
He might know you.
No, he loves the shot. He met.
I don't know who that is, but my name is Gunnar, and you know, you guys were talking about books, and I actually wrote a book. I wrote a book. It's all about waffles.
Waffles. Waffle.
What kind of waffle?
Yeah,
Chicken waffle?
and
what?
I'm not talking Waffle House dumplings. Okay, those places are greasy. No, not that. When I make the waffles, my waffles are double thick, and then I actually inject the syrup inside, almost like a McGriddle.
I don't know.
So, well, we appreciate you calling in and talking about your
Waffles.
waffle specialty. It's the first call ever we've had about waffles. Quite interesting. We'll have to
Listen,
learn
you're
more
going to
about
have
it.
many more. You'll have tons more after this because Gunnar Ping, my last name is Ping. I'm half Korean, but like
I knew
but
it.
like my name is Gunnar Ping, and look for Waffle Mania, written by Gunnar Ping.
All right,
All
then.
right, Gunnar.
There
Thank
you have
you.
it, everyone. Thank you so much for calling
Thank you,
in,
Gunnar.
caller.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gunnar.
I'm glad you called.
Alrighty then. So on with the show.
You never know what to expect.
You never
on
know.
this show.
Never.
It's a box of chocolates in here sometimes. Well, actually, we were just talking about the events that are coming
Right.
up, and so we had the concert that we mentioned. We also talked about the Uncle Louie Variety Show, and we have a whole bunch of other things that are going to be coming up as well. So again, if you are out there and you want us to talk about your event, get a hold of us. Go to www.powerupradiotv.com, and that's how you can actually find us to let us know what you are doing and how we can support you on the public airwaves. Alrighty then. So let's move on to the show
Actual-
itself. So for all of you that's
She's dying.
listening,
She's dying to get into
I'm
those
dying to get
notes.
into the meat of my stuff
There's
here.
a lot of notes.
A lot of notes, yes. So we're going to talk about, and the Sixth Borough always brings us back to the 80s, because a lot of us grew up in the 80s, and our audience is pretty much familiar with what life was like in the 80s.
In the 70s, late 70s.
Late 70s, 80s, yeah, and into the early 90s. So we're going to go down and have, go down memory lane.
Okay, let's do it.
Are you ready to do that? Alrighty then.
I love
we're-
trivia.
We love trivia, so we're going to experience this. So we are, as 80s kids, we're going to share what it was like growing up in the greatest decade to be a kid. I agree with that. In
Yes,
the 80s,
no
I truly
doubt
believe
about
that
it.
it is the best time period to have grown up before we were all tainted with any kind of technology. And it was just a much easier life and time to live. But you know what, guys, do you think, and audience, if you have commentary on this, please go ahead and call it. It's 888-994-4995.
Yeah, we want to hear it. We want to hear
from you.
Well, actually, you know, I was a teenager in the 80s, but I was a youngster in the late 70s, so I got to have fun in both decades.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I started high school, I'm going to reveal my age now, in 77. I started high school and
I
graduated
was
in
born in
81.
'77.
Yeah, okay.
So you're really an 80s baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
but
I'm the
those
last of the Gen X. I think Gen X ends right
Yeah,
after.
what are we?
speak for
Degenerate.
yourself.
Degenerate, Joe.
We're boomers,
You're,
right?
I'm not a boom nothing.
Degenerate.
No, you guys aren't boomers. You would be Gen Xers.
Z.
Z?
No,
We're
Z is now.
Yes, it is. That's what I'm saying.
No, we're baby
I'm
boomers.
sticking to it. I'm a Z.
No. You insulted
might be
me.
a millennial.
Insulted me a little bit.
No, millennial. Listen, all said, we have to actually.
Hey, Maddie.
Hey, Matt, how are
Hey,
you?
I knew it was you mutt you. What's
Always
up,
good
buddy?
to hear from you, Matt.
We got to get you in here again, Matt.
Alrighty, so we're going into that. Matt, if you're listening, join in with us anytime you want. But just to move on to how many of us, we're going to go down and talk about 17 different things, all right, that essentially is what we experienced when we were in the late 70s and 80s, okay? By the way, in the 80s, there was lots of money to be made for those of us
Yep.
that went through that
Tommaso just wrote that in.
Yes.
Lots
Yes,
of money
Tommaso.
made in the 80s, 90s.
But
yeah.
there were a lot of crashes.
Why? Because there were no cameras anywhere.
Exactly.
There were no snitches, exactly. Alrighty then. So if we're ready to go to the first one, these are the 17 most well-known.
17? Oh,
17.
Maron.
We're gonna go for 17.
This is going to last 3 hours right here.
Oh gosh. Alright. So being beyond excited to get up Saturday mornings. Let's talk about where you were Saturday mornings growing
Saturday
up.
morning.
Saturday morning cartoons.
Okay, growing up Saturday morning and those cartoons that we would watch. Do you remember
Captain
any of them?
Caveman.
What was that?
Captain Caveman.
Captain Caveman.
Captain
What?
Cave.
Was that
Oh,
just the
Kung
Buffalo?
Fooey.
Scooby-Doo.
Wait a
Of
minute.
course, Scooby-Doo and then
Scooby-Doo
the
was
rest of
the-
the lesbian gang. But listen,
No way. Wait a minute.
Scooby-Doo, the
Flintstones.
Archies, Cosby,
Funny.
the Cosby Show.
Wascally Wabbit.
Not the Cosby, Fat Albert.
And Albert.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, I think he was late 70s.
Yes.
But we were
So
actually,
is Scooby,
remember
70s.
Garfield?
Garfield.
Garfield and Friends.
Captain Caveman right there.
There's
Bam.
Captain Caveman.
He-Man.
He-Man. That was
He-Man.
in
No,
the
you're not. That was
Transformers.
there Sunday morning, dude. Those are like 90s.
He-Man, Masters
And
of the
Garfield
Universe.
and Friends.
No, I
And then
don't
what
remember
about
that.
the Smurfs?
No, that
Smurfs?
shit-
Yeah, they
that's
came out in the
too
80s.
old.
I'll
That's
let y'all know a
80s already.
secret. That
That's
was my
late
nickname.
80s.
Smurf?
Because of the blonde hair. I was
Smurfs
known as
were
the
the
Smurf.
Like
Yeah.
8, 12.
I
Yeah,
was
she'd
Smurfette.
be Smurfette.
Yep, I was a Smurfette.
Female in the colony. Hey.
Yep, the only female in the colony.
female in
Is that
the
true?
colony.
I didn't know that.
What was better than getting up on Saturday morning, getting your bowl of cereal, and just sitting in front of the TV and
I'm
watching
a
it?
Captain
No,
Crunch
that was
here.
the best.
I'm a Captain Cruncher.
No video games, just watching them.
Hold on. Before we go any further, let's stop, take a break.
Yes.
Commercial break.
Commercial break. We'll be right back, everyone.
Hit it, Nico.
All right, we'll be back. 6 Borough, baby. Another day in the life. Stay tuned. Joe Rubo.
WWNN AM Pompano Beach. WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting live from the Robes Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. This is the one and only. After our previous all-time record-breaking attendance concert, we're back. This time with a Motown tribute. The True Oldies Channel and Palm Beach County Parks and Recreation present the last show of the Carlin Park After Dark concert series. And we've left the best for last. On Saturday, April 8th, come see one of the most exciting and vibrant shows yet with Legends of Motown with the Crush Party Band. Get ready to dance the night away to some of the greatest Motown hits of all time. The Crush Party Band's Legends of Motown will take you on a trip through some of the greatest songs of the 60s and 70s. This free show is open to the public, but VIP pod seating is also available for purchase at TrueOldiesFLA.com. Don't be left out. It's the grand finale of the Carlin Park After Dark concert series. Saturday, April 8th at the Seabreeze Amphitheater in Jupiter, 750 South State Route A1A. Brought to you by Margaritaville at Sea, Sloman's 1-800-ALARM-ME, the Robes Law Group, the Jupiter Joe Money Show, online at JupiterJoe.com, and the True Oldies channel. For more information or VIP seating, visit TrueOldiesFLA.com. Follow Oldies Nuts social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at True Oldies FLA. That's at True Oldies FLA.
RD Promo is the premier source of unique and captivating promotional products. Whether you need gifts for trade shows, corporate giveaways, holidays, or something in between, RD Promo is committed to the best services and products for our clients. Our expert account representatives are committed to your satisfaction and are prepared to help you find the promotional bags, gift items, and products you need. Our compelling corporate gifts meet high quality standards and are designed to work for every budget. RD Promo makes promoting your business affordable, efficient, and fun. We work with high-end clients, advertising, and marketing firms alike to craft successful marketing campaigns for brands. Small businesses, major corporations, and multinational Fortune 500 companies have trusted us for their promotional product needs. Call 1-855-915-7377 or visit our website at rdpromo.com.
The Hideaway of Palm Beach. Free food all night from our gourmet kitchen. Drink and dance specials all night. Exclusive private VIP rooms. Top shelf bottle specials. The Hideaway Palm Beach. Come meet our top-notch bartenders and servers. And of course, the most beautiful entertainers in Palm Beach. The Hideaway. Palm Beach's hidden gem. The secret is out. The Hideaway Palm Beach. Located at 1152 Old Okeechobee Road, West Palm Beach. Open 4 p.m. to 5 a.m. 7 days a week. The Hideaway of Palm Beach.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 6th Borough. I'm going to give our sponsors a quick shout out. Hideaway Lounge and Club, Gift Solar with Tom, Pizzeria Boca Raton. Quick shout out to my host, Mag Job Kenny. We got Joe. My name is Nico. And we have our beautiful hostess. Give it up for Denise. Take it away, Denise. Let's go.
Ooh, I just love those intros when he comes back. It's so much fun. I feel like I should still be like dancing into it. I don't know, but thank you so much, Nico. I appreciate every time you do that. But you know, to really go out and mention once again to our sponsors, the Hideaway. We actually had a chance, remember, a couple of weeks ago to go out and do a site visit, if you would, to the Hideaway.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun. We actually had the ability to see what's going on there. Great lounge, great entertainment.
Well, me and Kenny did a couple of site visits there.
just 3 or 4.
Just business.
5 or 6.
Yeah,
Just business. Okay, I was not invited on that round trip, but that actually was very nice. So again, it's called the Hideaway in Palm Beach. And we also have Solar Tom. If you're thinking about going solar, you need to call Tom. Please make sure you do that. Go to our website, and you can actually click on Solar Tom, and you can find out more.
Is your mic back on, right?
Oh, I did. My mic is on. Yes, they're checking in on me. Can everyone hear me? I'm sure you can. So, anyway, if you want to know more about going solar, make sure you go and give a shout out
Solar Tom.
To Solar Tom. Again, go through our website and click on Solar Tom, and you'll get more information on that. And then last but not least, we have, of course, our Pizza Ricci.
Thank God for them.
Pizza Rica.
Oh, yeah.
Pizza Rica.
Pizza Rica.
Yeah, we actually.
Thank God for them.
Thank goodness for them, because they've been actually feeding us. So they're right here in Boca Raton, and they've got some great pizza and wings and other things that are so tasty. They've been actually blessing us with some food. But let's get back to where we were. So we were back in the 80s when we were growing up. What is it like to grow up in the 80s?
We're talking about cartoons.
Cartoons.
Just throwing things out, just random.
Just random, okay. So the next one, of course, you must remember this. There's
it is.
also the feeling around noontime.
Oh!
Wait, what happened?
Thundercats,
Oh, yes,
and
like, there you
there's
go.
Ho.
We got more of those. Who were these people again?
Not the hose that Joe's used to, the Navajos.
The Thundercats. My goodness, I don't even remember.
I don't remember them.
All right, so the cartoons were over on Saturday morning. What did you watch next? Does anyone know this answer?
The 18?
No, I watched Land of the Lost.
I know.
No, that's weekdays.
On Sunday mornings, they had the reruns of Abbott and Costello movies.
Abbott, it was what? Soul Train.
Soul Train.
Soul Train.
American Bandstand.
Yes, well, that was actually all Soul Train, American Bandstand. So that was also part of the programming. It was the adult version of the morning, right? So we have Golden Girls. Well, that's not on our top ones, but they were certainly there to be watched. We also have in the 80s, do you remember playing outside?
Every day.
Every day. We played outside all day long. And did you recognize your parents' whistle?
Oh, yes, of course, when the streetlights are on. I was dead.
I never played marbles. Who
My mother
played
would be yelling
marbles?
my brother's name. He had to come in, take a shower.
The nerd kids played marbles.
Yeah, what'd you do?
We
You
played
whacking people already or what?
We played stickball.
We played kickball.
Stickball.
Stickball, yeah.
Kick the neighbor's kids.
We used to play this game called Bases Loaded. And you had like the fence post was the base, and you had to run back and forth and had to beat the throw.
Oh, I don't remember that, but
Yeah,
that
they
sounds
called
like
the monkey
fun.
in the middle, but I guess I was on a racist block. Anyway,
No, Monkey in the Middle is a totally
Isn't that the
different
same
game.
thing?
You're
You
trying
throw
to.
the ball
We used to
back
play
and
off
run?
off the curb.
Oh yeah,
Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay,
That- you did wonders with that little Spalding ball.
the little blue
Like
Spalding
that
ball.
thing would keep you entertained all day.
I know that is a good ball. though.
Well,
Yeah.
Joe, you just made fun of me before saying, "Oh, you played marbles." I played marbles.
I never played marbles.
I played marbles.
Yeah, I
Played a lot of marbles now, but back then.
I lost my
Juggling you
marbles.
Cuyans don't stop playing with marbles there, Joe. I play with marbles all the time.
He's gonna come out now.
Oh goodness! All right. So what about when parents were? You would admit to doing dangerous stuff outside.
Oh yes.
The things that we did.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
we're
anything.
cracking skulls. Tell him, Joe.
There was no. There was
No.
cement on the playground.
I mean,
My
you
mother
had
was like,
look at
yeah,
that. That's true.
Oh, yeah.
But look, you had boundaries where your parents told you don't go past that.
Right.
But you did.
Right.
Like, how did they know where we were? If they would have known where we
There were no
were,
GPSs.
I mean, crazy.
Listen, the
place-
miles on my bicycle when I was
Right.
a kid was insane.
We used to, when I lived in the Bronx, we used to ride the bikes down Broadway, was traffic was crazy. My father would have killed me if he would have found out we went down there. And we'd come back, oh yeah, we just went down the block. We didn't go anywhere further.
If anyone has a story you want to share about your favorite thing that you would like to do when you were growing up in the 80s, anything, this is your moment to admit it. It's okay. You're in family. It's good. It's all good. It's just us. It's just us. So you can call into 888-994-4995, and that's Studio A.
Back in the days when there were no cameras.
No
Yeah, just make sure you know the statute of limitations on anything you're going to
Yeah, I
talk about.
think this we're way over 7 years, so we're okay.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Do you remember it was kind of like a carousel, and you had to make it spin by pushing
Pulling.
with your
Oh,
feet,
yeah.
right? And then you spun it enough until you fell off and you hit a wall.
You
or-
hit
I'm
your
pretty
head.
sure I died once coming off of that thing. My dad
I
made me
put,
walk
I
it
put a
off.
post up the other day with those monkey bars. Remember those crazy monkey bars?
Right?
Yeah, the metal sides. The monkey bars with no padding, nothing on the
Nowadays,
bottom.
they got padding. They got all this whole
Yeah.
situation.
They put bubble wrap on them.
I used to
Yeah.
see kids fly from the top.
Yeah.
And just get up. Your parents be like, "Oh, you're okay."
You're okay.
Is there a
You're all
bone sticking out? Oh, you're good. Don't worry about it.
You'd be
There's
on the
no blood.
You'd be on the floor crying, screaming in pain, and then you had that ice cream truck pull up.
Heck yeah, that ice cream truck. What was in there? Right?
Ice cream.
I scream forever. Yeah. There are things that we actually did that today would be completely unheard of.
Oh yeah.
And even if the kids today would probably just get hurt looking at it, not even experiencing it. You know, our cars didn't even, like, who wore a seatbelt back then?
Nobody. We used to sit in the back of the station
There
wagon
was
facing
no
out.
windows, no power windows. It had to crank.
We had
no
a-
AC.
There was no.
Yeah.
Do you remember the station wagons, Ken? You would sit in the back and face the turn.
Facing the back so
Yeah.
you can see who's going to kill
You
you.
see who's gonna hit you in the back.
Paneling on the wagon, and we're like, come on, man. The seats in the back, but the drive-ins were cool.
Yes, the
Right?
drive-ins.
I
Yeah.
kept that alive with my kids. The drive-ins.
Yeah.
They still
Drive-ins are
exist.
cool.
There's still one left in
There was
Sunrise,
one-
right?
There's Sunrise,
Yes.
I
yeah.
think
Yeah.
they closed it down.
Did they?
Oh, did
The
they?
one by the swap shop.
I don't know.
Swap shop. Yeah, I don't.
I think it's still there.
Well, if you're gonna go,
It's
go
still there,
packing.
but I don't believe it's open. I don't know.
Remember you used to sneak your friends in the back so they didn't have to pay?
Yes.
Here's the
Put 'em in the
Of
trunk.
course, I used to always have to be the guy in the back.
I had a
smuggled in.
77 caddies, so I used to fit like 5 or 6 people back there.
So here's the best one. Do you remember the airlifts? So if you were going skiing or anything like that, there was no. You just sat. There was no bar that
Oh,
went
yeah.
across
Right,
you.
like a
Nothing. You
T-bar.
just they scooped you right up and off you went. That's a very dangerous one today. So.
What about roller skating? Can we take this out on a Thursday night? It's adult night. Take you guys roller skating.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'm good
Professional,
on those skates.
Oh, yeah.
shufflers,
Yeah, break
big shots,
something.
all the roller guys.
Yeah.
The roller skating. Well, you know.
Joe, get you on some wheels, bro.
I wasn't much of a skater.
No.
I got a roller skating story. Can I tell it quick?
Oh
It's
boy.
very
Here we
funny.
go.
I was skating with my friends, and the girls were trying to show me how to skate, and this one guy kept coming and knocking me down, like laughing. Everybody's laughing at me. I said, okay. So I went. I also played football, so I had this in me. So I went, took off my skates, and I friggin' went out there and I tackled him in front of everybody. Wasn't allowed in that skating rink anymore.
Boy,
And that's where it started.
That's where it
There it
started.
is.
No, it started before.
His therapist said everything's gonna be okay. Don't worry, Joe. Sweetheart, just get
A lot
it
of
out.
aggression.
Just
But
let it out in the atmosphere.
In all
Just let
fairness,
it-
the guy asked for
He
it.
did. He kept hitting me. And I saw him at my high school reunion. He still remembers that day.
And now think
I
about
still
it.
got
That
that concussion.
That was back then, Joe. Nothing happened. You did whatever you had to do. You guys squashed it. That was it. Nowadays, if you did that, you'd be in counseling right
Yeah,
now.
right.
With a therapist. And wonder, what, Joseph, why did you do that, sweetheart? That in your anger.
Use your
What did you
words.
do? Joseph, please.
I did all that therapy stuff when I was a kid. My school put me in all that stuff.
Like, yeah, my father slapped me in the back of the neck a couple too many times. Back then, they used to just hit you for no reason, right?
Oh,
I
God.
used to tell my mother, like, yeah, my brother's acting like a jerk off. And she'd hit me. She'd be like, don't say that. I'm like,
My parents used to
she
throw
never
me
explained
beatings
it to
in
me
public.
what it really was, I'll tell you.
You know, one time I got lost in Alexander's. When I was a kid, I got lost in Alexander's, right? I was with my grandmother, and I was nervous. I didn't know where I was, so I went and I had them page her. Miss Grace Papalaro, you come up front. She came up front. Oh, Joey, I'm so happy to see you. We got outside. I got a beating of my life. You embarrassed me like twisted my lips, my ears. I went home all beat up like I was in Rocky. Yeah.
Well, that's the way. That's the way.
I should have stayed hiding.
All right, who remembers now playing video games at home, whether it was Atari? You remember playing Atari?
Atari
I
with
used to love
the joystick.
Atari. Yeah.
You love that joystick.
ColecoVision was the one that I had.
ColecoVision, Sega, Nintendo. We're also.
But what were some of the games with Atari? Let's go back. There's only like 3 games you
Pong
can get.
with the
The duck,
Yeah,
Yeah, the duck. What about the one bar thing?
the tank, yeah,
Oh.
Tetris.
Not really.
That-
but something like
Oh, it's like ping pong.
yeah, kind of like a ping
Yeah.
pong.
It was Pong, yeah.
Pong,
Like
yeah.
sticks and
3
little-
games you had in it. You played all day.
Joe was
There's
hitting the
more
ball.
than that. I remember more.
When we were playing
What
Pong.
was the little Pac-Man?
Pac-Man.
That was another
Where's
one.
the
That was
Pac-Man?
another one, though.
There was Pac-Man, and of course,
And then we
shooting
had the arcades back then. We used to go.
Oh yeah, $25. Let me put my quarter up. I'm up next.
Yeah.
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 Put your quarter on the machine.
25 cents. I can't even say 25
My
cents.
uncle used to own a arcade.
Nice.
Oh.
And when I did bad in school, my dad would punish me, wouldn't let me go to the arcade anymore.
Oh,
It was
my
like the
goodness.
worst punishment you could give me.
going to the arcade.
Yeah.
We used to go to the mall.
Not
all the
allowed
time.
to go.
Okay, so who remembers taping songs off of
Oh,
your boombox?
yeah.
Of course.
Yes, putting the radios facing each other and then hitting play and record
Yeah.
at the same time. So, and you're telling everybody, shh, shh,
Yeah, be quiet.
you know, I'm recording.
Recording.
Oh, you're really old school. Before the radios even had recorder. He had his tape recorder. He had his tape
put 'em
recorder by the phone.
Can't get to the phone right now. Please leave your name, your number. Oh no, let me redo that. I can't get to the phone right now. Remember we did that?
Oh, yes.
Go back. Damn it. Check. I can't. Ladies, give me a call. Leave your number after the tone.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we used to do.
The
We
recording.
used to play music behind
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, music in the background.
Uh-huh.
Call waiting.
The
Click.
call waiting. Oh,
click.
yeah. So the excitement of learning about a new TV show all at once, right before they premiered, was also a rush. So remember
Right.
they showed all like 6 shows that are coming up, the brand new premieres
Yeah.
and whatnot. And I just
And
thought
if
that
you
was the biggest
if you
thing.
missed those shows that night, you had to wait till the reruns. It's not like you could record it and watch it afterwards.
It was terrible. We
It was
suffered.
It was a big night sitting around watching
Yes.
these shows
It
when
was.
they came on.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's true.
So there was the agony and ecstasy of trying to get your hands on the most popular toys. Number 1, Cabbage Patch dolls.
Oh, that was a big.
That was a big thing back then.
I got one for my sister. I had a guy.
You had a guy?
Yeah, I got it.
I'm sure. He fell off the truck.
There they all are right now.
Yeah.
Yep, there's all the toys. The Transformers, that was a big
Do
thing.
you know what some of these toys are going for right now?
Oh, the Cabbage Patch ones, you can really make a pretty dollar on them. Oh my God, remember what was this, the
Gizmo.
Gremlin?
The Gremlin.
Gizmo,
The gremlin.
Don't get it wet.
Don't get
Right now, I always had a problem.
You know, I saw Gremlins and Ghostbusters as a double,
Double feature?
in a drive-in theater when they came out.
Those were the days, man.
Well, those were really actually very fun days. These toys, you can't find toys like this
No.
today. I don't even know what they get today for toys. But here's another one. Talking on the phone with your friends was a big deal in those pre-cell phone days. And then you remember when you were able to actually get someone else on the line?
Yeah,
You
when
get
you,
them
if
to
you
cut
had
in?
if you had a phone with call waiting or 3-way,
Yep.
you were a big shot
Yeah.
back then.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
I grew
That's
up watching football with no instant replay. Did you see that? No, I missed it. That was it. Did you
That was
see
it.
or no? Yeah, that's the guy next to you.
all right. What was that? Go back to the tape, or what was that in basketball? We say let's go
Yeah,
back
no.
to the.
Let's go to the videotape.
Let's go to the videotape.
But no, there was no replay.
No replay.
No replay, and the quarterbacks got killed. You know, they were able to get hit and
But it
beat
was
up.
a good life back then. I
Yeah.
mean, my dad had like 2 families. He had one family lived around the corner from our family. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah,
just
we all
crazy
lived in the
back then.
neighborhood.
You know,
My dad said goodbye to my mother.
he went to his other family.
He didn't come back for like
You know,
1:30 at night. I don't know where he was.
seriously now, going back to those days, you kind of wish that people had the values that we had then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no matter where I was, I had to be home for dinner.
Let me just tell you why
My
that
father
is, Joe.
said,
I made us being a good parent. Our parents at the light. At the end of the day, my mother was the boss. I had to listen to her.
Yeah.
Respect.
She would literally
Yeah.
finally beat me up.
No matter where we were, what we did, we had to be home for dinner. My dad goes, I work, I put the food on the table, you better be
Better be
here.
home.
Right. Don't talk
That's
at
right.
the table.
I used to get, when I was older, I used to get like nervous, say, Dad, I'm going out tonight, I'm not going to be home for dinner. What? What'd you say? What? So I remember I had to go eat, then go out.
Respect for their parents, I think.
It's exactly right. I
There's
think
no
it was
family
respect.
values. It's not 5 o'clock dinner time. Everything's on the rush, instant gratification. Even
Yeah.
myself, I had 2 kids. They're constantly on the phone. They don't even look at me. I gotta like threaten them to get off the phone. I'm like, yo, get off the phone right
Yeah.
now.
We still try
I
to
know
do the
what's going
Sunday
on.
dinners.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're great.
You know, it all starts from home, and it
Yeah.
is very true. The things that we experienced back then, we didn't have as much to do. So, but it was fun because we were creative. So today, these kids after school, they've got, piano lessons, tumbling, they've got cheering, and they've got, football, or they got this and that after school. There's so much to do that there
we
was
had
no
all that when we were
downtime.
younger.
And by
We
the
had-
time the kids got home at different schedules, it's like,
Yeah.
grab a peanut butter and jelly and sit down and go to bed.
But when I was going to school and I was playing sports, I didn't. Dad, you got to take me to football. You get your own way there. You walk.
I know, isn't that crazy, bro?
Into the
I used
snow,
to say, Mom, give me a
sleep.
ride. She'd laugh.
Dad,
in my
aren't you going to
face.
come to practice? Practice. I got to go to work. What practice? You came to all the games.
I
Then.
don't even
amazing the
remember
amount
ever
of
saying no
walking
to
we
my
did.
kids.
We walked everywhere
Yeah.
and rode bikes.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Bikes and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How could you have my mic not work? Check 1, 2. Am I on? I can't hear myself.
Nowadays, you're picking up the when your
can't
kids
hear
got all
myself.
this.
I'll be here all week.
Picking
Thank
them
you.
up
Give
like
me
a
a call.
bus everywhere.
yeah.
I know
Well-
exactly why I'm single. Write it down.
You don't want
What?
to hear you?
It's like my 8th microphone. I swear to God, they keep swapping them on me.
So-
I've been working here for a long time. I was like, not even.
We hear you loud and clear.
Whose mouth is this? They're not. It's disgusting, but I love it. Oh,
And
the
that
show's
is
the best.
our loving Nico.
Nico.
So remember MTV? There's nothing like old
When it
MTV.
had music.
When it had music.
Now it's like a game show station.
Yeah. Now it's
I can't
TV.
even find it on the radio or
Do they
TV
still
rather.
do they still do videos on any station anymore?
Well,
Yeah, there's some videos I watch, but it's a private show.
Yeah, you can't go there.
But you remember MTV used just to keep it on all night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. What about VH1, MTV?
VH1?
Yeah. No more.
I always wanted to be an MTV host. I was so pissed.
Well,
Yeah.
MTV, VH1, they used to
was
come
ready.
to spring break.
So now these kids have Spotify, YouTube, and all the other names.
God. You can
Yeah.
get any song you want. Like you said, we used to have to sit and wait for that song
It's
to come
instant
on. to record
gratification.
it.
I could type in my computer right now, pull up any song you can
Yeah.
think of, and give it to you right now. Years ago, we'd have to dig through the record crates or wait for it to come
Yeah.
out or what have you.
Make your own mixtapes.
Absolutely. It's all like instant gratification right now.
But
And
you
that's
know,
what
you
they-
think about what we've seen, and we've seen music go from like vinyl to 8-track to cassette to CD to
No, the
MP3.
evolution of it.
Like, we've watched it all.
Yeah, we've
Well, how
seen it
about-
all. We are lucky that we've seen it all.
But how about this right now? The number one app right now going on is what? TikTok, and that's what? Syncing, and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
lip syncing.
Milli Vanilli.
Meanwhile, with Milli Vanilli, the one guy killed himself because he was a
Because
lip
they caught him
syncer.
lip syncing.
He could have just waited 30 years and been like, "Bro, I'm big. Here I am. I've been doing it all the whole time."
That was a great song, too, man.
No, it was the best, dude.
Girl, you know it's true.
Girl, you know it's true. I'm not even singing this song. Because I'm a Jew. Hey, it's a remix. Whoop, whoop.
All right, here.
Ah, Baruch
you
Hashem to everyone,
probably
I'll tell ya.
Most definitely remember the great memories riding your bike around with your pals.
Yes.
And back then when you got all together and you were playing ball in the middle of the street, what was the one thing everyone used to say when you were playing in the middle of the street?
Let's go
Car.
to Stacy's house.
Car.
and find this
You
girl.
yell car.
We would yell car. You don't hear that today.
We used to get rides from the cops.
Oh, Johnny
Me
Doe.
and my friends used to go to this one girl's house. She was like the friendliest one, and then all the bikes would be parked outside.
Oh,
and she
God.
was- Anyway, it was a give and take relationship.
You know what we used to do, and this is crazy because they allowed us to do this stuff. We would just take a random piece of wood that we would find, and we would stack it up on some bricks.
Make it jump.
And then our friends would lay down, and we'd tell our parents, "Hey, come
Yes.
watch this," and we
Yes.
jump over
Jump
them
over,
with our
yeah.
bikes.
Your parents should be loving it, too.
Yeah, they're like, "Yeah, good job."
We actually would ride. Remember the banana seat? Well, those are the girl ones. The banana seat bicycles, and we'd fit like 4 of us on there.
Yep, we had the choppers. Remember the chopper bikes?
The big wheels. That was one of
The
my
friggin'
favorites.
guy bikes had the shifter right there.
Right,
Yeah.
How many people couldn't have kids after riding one of those?
Oh, God.
How many
That's
times
what
you
happened.
banged into those shifters?
Senor Tommaso, the launch of freestyle music, where I was actually a part of Mark Anthony's first song, and it was before he was a salsa star. Well, that was a great time back then. I mean, you know what? A lot of great music did come from there, and on the spirit of us experiencing our most recent concert we went to, I thought that we should actually go over the things that we were most experienced when we were in the 80s.
Yes.
Kenny
So-
Loggins.
Your favorite candy, Kenny? What was yours?
Matt, he did
In the
have a lot of
80s.
songs, Kenny Loggins. You're right.
All right, what are your favorite candies?
We
I
used to
mean-
go. I used to go to the corner store. It was in the neighborhood, and we would get these penny
The candy store.
Yeah, it was. Well, it was like a little grocery store,
Yeah.
but and it was funny because my mom would give me a list. It was like milk, bread, eggs, cigarettes. You know what I mean? And they would sell it to me.
Yeah.
Did you bring
But,
a note from your mother and give it to him saying
with-
my mother made me buy these?
No, I would just give it to them, and they would get all the stuff for me, and then I would just sit there and with the change, I would pick out penny candies, and there was the Pal gum and the Bazooka Joe. But we used to
yeah.
get the Bazooka Joe because it had the
comic.
The comic
the
in
comic
it.
in
It was so hard to chew that stuff.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
I tell
And
you,
then
lost
you had
flavor real quick.
those little barrels. It was like a barrel of juice.
Yeah.
With the little-
Oh, yeah.
All
Little
sugar.
hug a jug, dog.
Oh,
Hug a jug.
sugar
Are you trying to make
juice.
me bring it up?
There you go. There's
I got
the
kids.
candies.
Hug a jug. There it is.
There's the bazooka gum.
Oh,
We're
that's
looking
that
at
Mary
picture of all
Jane.
the
You had that
candies.
last, the peanut butter thing.
Oh, goodness. These are all great candies.
Yo,
My-
the Necco, those are good too.
the who?
Those Necco.
I can't believe with all those candies and stuff,
in the
never had a
picture.
I
cavity.
think the sweet tarts were my favorites.
Sweet
the
tarts.
Necco
What
on
was
the
the
top
one where you
left,
stick the
right.
stick in the powder one?
Oh, I like the caramel one too.
Do you remember
That's
the
my favorite.
cigarette candies?
Yes.
Of course.
Oh, that was the best. Pretend you were smoking.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the
and in
best.
wintertime, we were like.
I never did
Today
any
you
kind
wouldn't
of
find
nonsense.
yourself
I
doing
tried
anything
smoking,
like
it was
that. Oh, my
disgusting.
You don't
God.
see cigarette candies anymore, do you?
No, they don't promote
Well,
it. Like they used
actually,
to.
there's a place in Coral Springs, an ice cream place. They sell all that old candy there.
Oh wow.
There's another place in Wilton Manors as well that sells
Yeah.
that sells all that.
We can't plug them
Yeah, Sweet Tooth.
because they didn't pay.
Oh, no.
So we
Yes.
can't plug
We
them.
can't plug them. We only plug if you pay.
Yeah.
It's a plug and play
That's
thing.
it. Just some random building with windows and a door.
So if you're in that wheelhouse and you want your show or your business to go ahead, there's
There
those
you
candies.
There's those candies.
They are.
Yo, those are so good. I could eat a whole bunch of them. I eat all at
They
once.
were red
Dude,
in
for
front,
real.
like they were lit.
I remember
Do you remember the
those
cigars
years.
that were bubble gum?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You get blow on it. It had like some kind of
Yes.
confectionery sugar or
Okay.
something.
Well.
What about
anyway.
the cap guns? They look like real guns.
Yes, I could
Oh.
smell those. That still.
Yeah.
You remember? Oh yes, that's right. With the tape that
The
actually
little,
had
the
the.
little black dots on it, and you shoot
Yeah.
it.
And what about that ray gun where you stick the little discs in it and you shoot it at people?
Oh, fun dip's good,
poke
too.
their eyes out.
Those things were so
They
dangerous.
came out so
Fun dip.
fast.
It was fun dip.
Fun dip.
Fun dip,
That's
yes.
right,
Thank
Tommaso.
you, thank you, Tommaso.
You remember those guns?
They shot
Nico?
the little
They
blades.
shot the
out.
little
It looked like little discs.
discs
The pop guns. They
that
were
came
like
out
the-
like 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, of course.
Things would kill you. Poke
What
your
about
eye
the
right out.
click-clacks? You remember the click-clacks?
Those the little things that
Yeah.
Yeah, those things killed people. I think they were
Oh,
unfortunate,
yeah.
but they were fun as heck. And my other favorite was the foot
Lawn darts.
foot loop. Wait, is that right?
darts.
The foot loop. I think the way.
Oh, skip
not foot
it.
loop. Skip it.
Skip it.
That was
We
it.
had to
Skip it.
You used to
swing
go
that thing
outside and
around
play
your foot.
lawn darts. Who was playing lawn darts? We'd throw them at each other.
Yeah, we would throw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro used to throw me. Yeah. Forget it. Me and my brother were crazy.
Oh,
Then the
the-
slip and slide. How many people broke their wrists on
That
those
is the
things?
best. The
Slip
slip and
when they first
slide.
came out, those were the best.
well, there you have it, folks. So we
We could
hope
do a
we
whole
took you
show.
down.
We did a whole show on.
We
just
did a
the-
whole show on memory lane. This is what we wanted to bring you back in time with. This is the Sixth Borough, and I know for a fact that you can probably most definitely relate to these days and times of when you watched your TV, or watch your kids watch TV actually at that point. But you remember all these different things that we experienced.
So many
which-
stories. Yeah.
So many stories of which today, unfortunately, you would never find any of our kids doing that.
No,
And
TikTok, Snapchat. I don't even know what they're doing. What
Back
are
in
they
the day,
doing
we didn't have,
exactly?
there wasn't a remote, so I was the remote.
Yeah. Get up and change the channel.
Right, exactly.
And
No.
there was like 5 channels. Channel 4, Channel
I know,
6,
right?
Channel 10. That was it.
And
You had to put
11
that,
and
you had to put it on
13.
you.
Yeah.
Everybody don't
You,
move. Don't
you
move. Don't
ain't
move
saying-
the antenna. Don't move. Don't move.
Oh, exactly.
I
And
got
like
pictures just
3 in the
right there.
morning, the show it would go off, and you'd hear
The colors on the
Star
TV,
Spangled
it's like,
Banner,
"Ooh,"
and it would go out.
I think the best for me was actually remembering Johnny Carson before I went to sleep. That actually ended my day.
That ain't how I did it. I'll tell you. Her name was Jennifer Every.
I don't know.
That's what you went to-
I watched
Just telling you,
Letterman.
no.
Then I went to bed.
Oh no, this is nothing
David
like Johnny
Letterman,
Carson.
the Johnny Carson where I was just shooting the breeze. How you doing, honey? You want a drink?
I used to
You know
stay
what
up
I mean?
and watch that
But
late
David
night Howard
Letterman
Stern
came
show.
on. We're already like, hey, fine, you know what I mean? You ever,
That's Nico.
you know,
Howard Stern when he was on
what?
E.
When he was
I washed my hands.
yes.
It was good.
Yeah, that was good.
Well, everyone, we're going to actually move on to the second half of our show. And for any of you that have been listening, we really hope you enjoyed this portion of the show that actually brought you down memory lane when we were in the 80s growing up. And so stay tuned for the second half of our show. We'll be right back.
The sixth borough, baby. Let's go. Ladies. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Girl, you look mighty.
RD Promo is the premier source of unique and captivating promotional products. Whether you need gifts for trade shows, corporate giveaways, holidays, or something in between, RD Promo is committed to the best services and products for our clients. Our expert account representatives are committed to your satisfaction and are prepared to help you find the promotional bags, gift items, and products you need. Our compelling corporate gifts meet high-quality standards and are designed to work for every budget. RD Promo makes promoting your business affordable, efficient, and fun. We work with high-end clients, advertising, and marketing firms alike to craft successful marketing campaigns for brands. Small businesses, major corporations, and multinational Fortune 500 companies have trusted us for their promotional product needs. Call 1-855-915-7377 or visit our website at rdpromo.com.
The Hideaway of Palm Beach. Free food all night from our gourmet kitchen. Drink and dance specials all night. Exclusive private VIP rooms. Top shelf bottle specials. The Hideaway Palm Beach. Come meet our top-notch bartenders and servers. And of course, the most beautiful entertainers in Palm Beach. The Hideaway. Palm Beach's hidden gem. The secret is out. The Hideaway Palm Beach. Located at 1152 Old Okeechobee Road, West Palm Beach. Open 4 p.m. to 5 a.m. 7 days a week. The Hideaway of Palm Beach.
This program is furnished by amp2tv.square.
Content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, so check it out. Welcome back. The Sixth Borough Power Hour. Want to give some shout outs to our sponsors, Hideaway Lounge Club in Palm Beach, Get Solar with Tom, Pizza Rica, Boca Raton. Quick shout out to my hosts, Meg Chop Kenny, Joe. My name is Nico, and of course, the beautiful Denise. Take it away, Denise.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the second hour of our Sixth Borough Power Hour show, and we have an exciting segment that's coming up. And one of the things that I always wanted to do is to make sure that we recognize the most wonderful foundations that are out there and the work that they're doing for our community. And this is going to be one section or one segment that's going to be dedicated to doing that. I'm excited about it because we have a couple of surprises for our guest that she doesn't know about, but I think overall the one thing that we're going to be very excited about is informing everyone about this. It's a very touchy subject, so I'm just going to jump right in it. If that's okay with everyone, we'll just go right ahead.
We'll follow your lead, boss.
We're going to follow my lead. Alrighty, once again, I just want to make sure you know that you're listening to the 6 Hour Power Hour, and we are going to be talking, and by the way, any comments that you want to make can be seen and will be read on Facebook under the Power Up Radio 6 Borough. You can also do that on YouTube, and we'll actually see that on there. You can see us on the Power Up Radio TV and YouTube, and you know what? I want to hear from you. The website is there for you to use. Ask us questions. If you want to jump on our show, by all means, go ahead and do that. If you are a nonprofit, you can go ahead and jump onto our website, put your information in, and we'll get back with you and see how it is that we can help promote what you're doing for our community. Alrighty then, so that number to call in for the next part of our show, if you want to ask any questions, is 888-994-4995, and that's Studio A. You can watch us live. I always want to say that, because if you're listening, that's one thing, but putting the voice to the actual face is even better. So you can go ahead and watch us on our website or on YouTube, as I just mentioned. All right, so who is this foundation we're talking about? I'm really super excited. So we're going to be talking a little bit about a foundation called One Pulse out of Orlando. And this is an organization that came from the tragic nightclub shooting that was classified as one of the deadliest shootings in the United States. It took place on June 12th in 2016, where we lost 49 angels and that were taken away from family and friends. And what we could have done, with the other 68 that were injured in the whole process. It's just a horrible, tragic thing to go back in time and think about. But from that came some amazing information, energy, and a lot of love came from that. So we're going to talk more about that. And I have the honor right now to talk about this, to honor all of those that perished in this terrible, tragic incident, and also all of the first responders and the healthcare workers that were involved. And I have with me the founder, Barbara Poma. So one of the founders of the club, and I just thought, I looked up her information, and oh my goodness, the story is just really very powerful. And there's our beautiful Barbara right there. We're looking at her. Isn't she stunning? She's got such a great, beautiful aura about her. So we're going to want to talk a little bit more. Barbara, thank you for being here. We're very excited to hear more about what you're doing, a little bit about you, because during the process of this particular part of the show, we want to learn about our person, who we're talking to, because that bring it home even closer to you. It personalizes it. So tell us a little bit about you first.
Sure. Thanks so much for having me here today and highlighting One Pulse Foundation. But I am a South Florida girl. I grew up down here. These are my stomping grounds. I went to school in Coral Springs. My mother and brothers still live down here raising their kids. I grew up here in the 80s. So I loved the first segment a lot. I related to everything you're talking about, especially the roller rink. But so I grew up down here. I have a brother, one of my brothers who's older than me, 4 years older, John, who came out gay in our family, Catholic, Italian, from New York. So you can imagine what that was like in my household. But I grew up with him, and it was my normal to grow up dancing with gay men and drag queens. It's just what I did. And so until I went to college, that's what I did down here in South Florida.
So here you are. I understand that you were a teacher at some point. Did you go to school to become a teacher?
I did. I left South Florida to go to the University of Central Florida in Orlando. I graduated from there probably 100 years ago and became a school teacher and taught high school and middle school grades for a while until I met my husband and married into what his business is.
So, one of the things that we've often mentioned on here is women going through their careers. You went from being a teacher into, I would say, the entertainment industry, almost to the point where you opened up these clubs, or tell us how you transitioned into that. Because it's a second career, if you really think about it.
Oh, it was a complete change, a life change for me. My husband, when I married him, was already in the restaurant business, hospitality business, had been building, opening, and running restaurants in Orlando for many years. So I married into that. And so he was like, you're just going to come work for me. It's going to be a family business. And so that's how I got into it with him. And Pulse was the only nightclub we'd ever opened. And it was, a one-off for us. That came to us through our best friend, who's one of our best family friends, who it was his dream to always open a gay bar. And he came to my husband with the idea. And that's how the concept was born.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That's, I don't know if that's a mouthful or just or just so easy. It sounds like it was meant to be, that it happened to be that way. So, with everything that you've gone through, you became part of this industry. And tell us how it came into the name that you've selected for the club itself, and how it actually grew in the community.
Yeah, when we were sitting down originally to concept it, our partner Ron and I, and we would talk about what we wanted Pulse to be and what we wanted it to do for this community, it was really important to us that we built this beautiful, clean space that every LGBTQ plus person would be proud to bring their moms. The bars I grew up in here in South Florida were not those kind of bars. The bars I went to in Orlando when I was in college were not the kind of bars I'd be bringing my mom to. But we wanted Pulse to be that kind of space that people would be proud to be in. Mm-hmm. We also wanted to make sure we got the entire LGBTQ community under one roof, which is very rare, to have boys dancing with girls and bears and twinks and the entire segment of what the LGBTQ community looks like. They're usually pretty segregated. That's how they wanted it to be, but we
Right.
wanted everyone under one roof. So that was our main purpose with Pulse. And to name it was just to come up with what is one word that's just really catchy, signifies like the beat of music, the beat of your heartbeat, the beats, of those we love. So it was just a perfect word, and we just scribbled on a napkin that P. Ronnie drew the P, and that was it. And that's how it became Pulse.
Oh, wow.
When did it actually open?
2004, July.
Wow, 2004. Oh, wow. Okay. So we have a couple more questions. Tell us a little bit more about the actual idea around opening up, how you started promoting it. I'm very curious about that in the community.
Oh gosh, who remembers that long ago how we did that? I think it was just that
But
people were.
2004 is still sensitive.
I mean, just the fact that it was a gay club?
Yeah.
Orlando was a really welcoming, friendly place. It was very unlike South Florida. When I moved there, I felt very comfortable there. It was very warm and welcoming. There were other gay bars that had been iconic in Orlando for many years. We did have, where we were located was a little bit of a sensitive location. We did have a church that wasn't too far away from us. So they weren't really happy at that moment that we were opening, a gay bar near their church. But we overcame that. Matter of fact, after the shooting, they were the first ones to show up with a cooler full of Gatorades and waters to help people stay hydrated. So
the foundation, what is the mission of the foundation? What is the goal?
what is our goal?
Yeah.
So we want to open minds, hearts, and eyes and ears, and really to make change through the actual memorial, which is a place where you will always come to pay respect to what happened there and bear witness, but it's also a sanctuary full of love and response.
Right.
But the Pulse Museum would be a place, an education center where you go to not only learn about June 12th, because people are saying, like, why would you build a place that would be just so sad to come to? And it's like, no, it's an education center. It's a way of taking what happened and magnifying and giving it a platform, turning it into a positive, and learning about this community, learning about what true acceptance and empathy looks like, to teach our children empathy and the value of human life, and how people, everyone's got a career and a life and a love and a family. So it's just about really looking to the future.
We have a caller.
We do? Oh, all right then. Let's go for it. Caller, are you there?
Are you there?
Hello?
Yes, I am. How you doing? Hello, Denise.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, how you doing? It's
Good.
Joey. Hey, Cuz.
Hey, Cuz, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good, good.
DJ Junior. Yeah, how you doing?
Good, good.
What's up?
Nothing, just hanging out on a Friday night like always.
Glad you called in.
Yeah.
Do you have a question for our guest?
Yeah, I'll just make a comment. I actually remember the morning that tragedy happened, because I happened to go into a Dunkin' Donuts, and I happened to be looking at the TV screen, and at first I thought I read the screen wrong, 50 dead. I'm like, what? I thought I was reading it wrong. I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, it was very.
That was a sad moment.
It was a tragedy. Yep.
Yeah, it was actually horrific to actually see, and it was probably what you felt is probably what many, many, many others felt reading the screen, seeing how many had perished at that shooting.
It was.
You got to be kidding me! Another one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, think about 2016 and how many have happened since then. But yes, I mean, and just to give you guys some scope of what Pulse was, just 4,000 square feet. It wasn't some giant warehouse nightclub. It was a small boutique space.
Yeah.
49 is a very large number. And really, to be honest with you, we happened to be really lucky that we had a level 1 trauma center about 3 blocks away. It's the only level 1 trauma center in our Central Florida area. Wow. And people carried their friends, they ran there.
They brought them there.
And if we weren't that close to that trauma center, that number would have been much higher. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, JoJo, thank you so much for calling.
You're welcome, and have a great night, huh?
Thank you, Joe.
you.
Our best fan right there, Joey.
Yeah. That's sweet.
I do want to ask a quick question. Where, and it's a sensitive one, when all this was happening, Barbara, where were you?
I wasn't in Orlando. I was actually with my daughter, who just graduated high school. We were on a mother-daughter trip in Mexico, celebrating her high school graduation with 2 other mothers and their daughters when the news broke. I was, it was a time change. There's a 1 hour difference. So I was still out and about with them when my phone rang at exactly 2:08 in the morning, which was 6 minutes after the shooting started.
Oh,
and it was my
my.
manager who had escaped and called me from outside.
Oh, wow.
You know, back when this happened, I had a very popular television show that was on the air down here in South Florida, and we did a PSA for you. Yeah. I don't know. Can we run that quick? Can we run that video clip? Coming.
All right.
In the early morning hours of June 12th, 2016, we experienced the deadliest mass shooting in the history of the United States.
The gunman, with hate in his heart, killed 50 people and left 50 more injured.
VIP TV, along with the Rubo family, mourn the victims and give our deepest, deepest sympathy to their loved ones.
We are inspired by the strength and solidarity of Pulse Nightclub and the LGBT community.
We support the message of love and pride that the people all over the world have shown the city of Orlando.
We are empowered to show compassion, no matter whatever differences we may have.
And we pray that a tragedy like this never occurs again.
We are Pulse Nightclub.
We are Orlando.
We are VIP TV.
So all of that was all Joe's family.
Yeah.
For the most part, that did that video.
We took it. It was a tragedy. Yeah.
That was one of the things we wanted to share with you.
Well, thank you for that. It was a moment. Yeah,
it was a moment, I'm sure, but you know,
was.
you had touched, well, not say you touched, but the situation touched many.
It did.
And probably pieces like this are everywhere without even you knowing it. But you're here with us tonight, and so we just wanted to make sure that you were aware of the fact that it was talked about here in South Florida in this area.
I really appreciate that. I think that's when people talk about what our project is doing, most of the questions are like, why? There's shootings every single day. Why is this shooting any different than any other shooting? And I always go back to that response. And not that I minimize any other shooting, because what happened here at Parkland broke our hearts, and Uvalde and Sandy Hook, and you just go through it, you know, and Tops in New York. I mean, the list is so long.
Yeah.
But the LGBTQ community is a global community. You don't have to ever have gone and stepped foot into my Pulse right in the corner of Orange and Cayley. It's just, you could have gone into your Pulse here in your city, you know. And so I think it was just it just rocked the world in such a different way because it's such a global community.
Great. Well, we wanted to make sure that we did share that with you. So why don't we have a couple more questions for you.
All right, so what I want to know is, can you explain the significance of the National Pulse Memorial, what it means, you know, to everybody? Like, what is the meaning behind it? Can you just break down a little bit more of, like, how can everybody relate to it and what you're doing?
Well, the memorial itself, which President Biden has already designated as a national memorial, so that was a big, you know, success for us to get that designated. It comes with no funds to get it built, but the memorial itself is a place where you will come and, just like I said, to pay respect and to witness the love and the response that came from it, to bear witness of the size of the building, and just what you would do with any memorial. But I think what mostly resonates with people when you come there, and how every single person in this world will be able to connect in some way, is that when our community took their survey initially of what we wanted to see, feel, and do at the Pulse Memorial, it's a survey that most communities put out when they're doing a project like ours. One of the most important questions we ask there is, how do you want to feel when you're there? And they get to choose from a different, like, lists of emotions, right? How do you want to feel? So they get to pick 6 words. And so after we tallied the all of the people who took the survey, which was about 2,200 people, the 6 words that rose to the top were love, hope, unity, courage, strength, and acceptance. And so everything we do at the memorial or at the museum or at the Survivors Walk or even our education programs, everything that we do is those 6 words are our core values. And so when you're there, you will feel all those things. Even at the Inter-Memorial today, you will go there and you'll feel the love, but you'll also need your courage and strength to stand there. You'll see the acceptance on all the beautiful pictures on the wall. So people, you will connect in so many different ways, and you will come out, you know, with a real impactful experience.
And you guys are doing the health walk, the
Yes,
survivors.
the Orlando Health Survivors Walk, and that's that 3-block journey I was talking about. So it's the 3 blocks to get there, and so we are going to redevelop that space to be a place where we can honor survivor stories and the first responder stories and talk about what survivorship looks like. Because people, I can't tell you how often I hear the words, oh, well, it's been 6-7 years. I mean, you guys doing okay? Everything's good? Everyone's better? It's like, no, I don't think.
Everyone's back to normal now?
I don't think you understand that people are forever changed. And just because you can't see their bullet wounds anymore doesn't mean that they're not forever changed. And so I think learning about survivorship and mental health is just as important important part of that story.
And that's part of that. What that do you hope to accomplish during that walk? Is
Yes.
to be able to make people understand this is the journey that these people took to save their loved ones at that moment and their
Yes.
friends.
When is the walk, by the way?
Well, the walk is part of the construction plan, so there's 3
Okay.
parts of the campus. But we
I
do have
understand.
I think you might be talking about our community run, which is
we'll be talking about that shortly.
yeah.
Then I wasn't sure if it was all working together.
No.
So I do have a question. I'm going to bounce back for a second here, but we do have a caller. So let's see what this caller. Caller, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, this is Ray. Hi, this is Ray.
Hi, Ray.
From
How are
RG
you?
Travel. Good, thanks.
Thanks for calling.
Calling because I hear. Hey, no problems, definitely. Just like what I hear and what Barbara's been talking about One Pulse and what One Pulse does and what they represent, especially in the current conditions that we are in presently for the LGBTQAI and all the rest of the letters for the community in the state of Florida.
Well, welcome. Thank you so much for calling in. And so, do you have a question for us, or tell us a little bit about the incentive for your call?
The reason why I'm calling is because we are a travel concierge that is based here in Florida, online, and we are trying to do the same thing and assist One Pulse Foundation as much as possible with raising funds because we believe in what they're trying to do with the memorial and about survivorship, as well as providing services for the LGBTQA community, especially in, again, the climate that is happening in the state of Florida right now. And what we'd like to do is just talk about, if possible, a little bit about the event that we're doing with One Pulse Foundation as a beneficiary. And this is our 6-day celebrity cruise for LGBTQA drag queens. And it's going out of Fort Lauderdale June 4th of this year for Pride and celebrating Pride and love. Not just for the LGBTQA community, but for humanity in general.
That's going to be like a wonderful cruise. Do you have a DJ, by the way?
Well, that could be something we could talk about. No, we don't have a DJ. We do have
There
a
he
DJ
is.
that's on board the ship, but hey, that's something that we can talk about, right?
We can certainly talk about that. I think Nico would be a great fit for that. He's actually worked cruises before.
Yes, once or twice.
Once or twice.
Fantastic.
So it sounds like a great event. We'll talk more about that. I think we actually have a flyer, and we'll make sure that we make reference to it.
For sure.
Thank you so much for calling and for your commitment to wanting to support the organization, and it's for a real great cause. And I see it's just not for one reason, but for the greater good of everything. So thanks so much for calling in. We appreciate you.
I have a question.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, we have a question. Hold on. Don't go yet.
Not for him.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, thank you again.
Thank you. All right. Can you explain the vision of the Pulse Museum that you?
Sure. So the museum is meant to be an education center. I know the word museum sounds scary to so many people. They're just like, oh,
formal.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's going to be any fun in there, and it's going to be a sad place. But really, it's a place to learn about the story of Pulse and the joy of it. It's a place where the community can come together, whether it be for educational purposes or fun purposes. It will have exhibits which will talk about Joy of Pulse history, the fun history of the LGBTQ community, but also its struggles and its successes and setbacks. It has a section that talks about June 12th, but that would be a place that you don't have to enter if you don't want to, but you can always come back and see the response of all the love that came afterwards. And then it has a space which is meant for temporary exhibits and hard conversations and places to talk about things that are not just LGBTQ+, but like what's happening in our country, and how do we talk about empathy, and how do we talk about each other, and how do we talk about to your kids about acceptance, and how does a kid talk to their parents about coming out, and how they talk about who they are, and so just providing spaces for that to happen, for it to be a place of how do you change the future, and Orlando is the most visited city in our country. So what a platform to have to possibly get all
I
the
did
people.
not know that.
Yeah, 76 million visitors pre-COVID.
And here I
actually
think
this
it was
year.
the sixth borough.
No, I'm sorry. Sorry to disappoint New Yorkers get very upset about that. But yes, we
I wanna
are.
see the numbers. I gotta see the numbers.
I got them. I have them. And so we have a real opportunity to create some meaningful change for all the people who can come through that building and that experience.
You know, you said something just now with respect to making that decision to come out, how to do it, and you were raised in a strict Italian Catholic family. In your own words, what would be in that entire situation? How did the family transition? What did it take for it to transition into accepting that this is, this is happening?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't easy at first, especially for my dad and the men in our family. It was a little difficult for them, but I think time, and I think just a little bit of education and just seeing that John was John, and it didn't change who he was to us. It didn't change his personality. It didn't change anything. He was still John. And really, John became the center of our family. He was the one. He was our glue. He kept everyone connected. And I think it was just that once the shock was over and everyone wrapped their brains around it. I was younger. I was in middle school when John came out. So he was in high school, and so my memories of that. I have some horrific. I remember the horrific yelling wars and then fights and things like that, and him running away, and my parents going to find him. But it just took time, and I think ultimately it's because my family is so much full of love that it wasn't an option for anything else. Was just to love John for who he was.
I think that's the common denominator. It's just to find the love.
It is.
Yeah. That's a very strong comment right there. You have another caller. So who do we have on the line? Caller, are you there?
Hello, my name is
CJ.
Hi, yes.
Yes.
Hey.
So I know that CJ did a fashion show for Pulse. Starboy was the name of his product at the time. I actually did a fashion show with him in Palm Beach. I'm a designer, and I did Palm Beach Swim Week with him. That's how I know him. His models actually wore the sunglasses that were on my models.
Wow.
And so I remember him doing that. So I told him he was going to be on the show, and I wanted him to call in.
So you see, that's another surprise, another way of getting support that you didn't know about.
Are you there, CJ?
Did we lose CJ?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Hi.
CJ, how did you come to learn about One Pulse?
So I actually lived in Orlando. I worked at Pulse when I was younger, and I participated in the fashion show that they had at the end of 2016 with Orlando International Fashion Week, because the whole Pulse thing means a lot to me. I lost someone very special to me, and it was a big part of my life for a very long time. So it's close to my heart.
That's awfully sweet for you to call in.
Thank you so much. It's good to hear your voice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was hoping that there would be events once things are a little more in motion where I could participate in another show or something.
That would be wonderful. Stay in touch and stay connected to us.
I'll give you his number before you leave.
Absolutely.
Great.
Thank you, CJ.
I'm going to give her your number, CJ. Don't worry. I got you.
We're going to give everybody your number, CJ. It's going to be the best.
We're going to write it on the bathroom wall, too.
Well, before we go to our commercial break, which is in 2 minutes, actually it's going to be in 4 minutes, I just wanted to go into a little bit about this. I thought this was really cool, and that you created, and it's called the 49 Legacy Scholarship Program. I think that is awesome. So a scholarship for each 49. Tell me a little bit about that program.
Yeah, it warms my heart. It actually makes me smile when I'm having the worst day. I just think this is the one thing that we have been able to do in these 4 years that brings so much joy. So early on in the stages when we were starting the foundation, families would say to me, it's our children were more than just a name you read on June 12th, and they're going to be more than just a name on a plaque or a building that you make. They had friends, right? And they had a life, and they had a job, and they had career aspirations. So how can we honor that? And so the idea was that we would create a scholarship in each one of their names and let their families designate it to their career aspiration had they not achieved it. So Amanda Alvier had wanted to become a midwife and a nurse, and she hadn't achieved that yet. So her mother designated her scholarship for nursing.
Oh, that's fabulous.
And so we have 49 scholarships, and they range from cosmetology up to journalism to law to med schools. I mean, you name it, finance, we have a job, we have a career for it. So we have funded 3 rounds of those already. We're in the middle of our 4th round. And families and survivors and first responders of that night have been awarded, which has been great. They're national scholarships, so they're not just for the state of Florida. They go all around the country and to Puerto Rico. And you don't have to be LGBTQ plus to apply. You know, because
Fabulous.
not everyone who died that night was LGBTQ plus.
Nice.
That's really great. How did it come to the concept? Because it's fabulous. Who came up with the idea?
It just was born out of conversations with the families.
Okay.
Yeah, we figured out how can we honor them in a way that's a real living legacy. I mean, think 50 years from now, you'll have 50 Amanda Alvier nurses, you know? Yeah. And and it means so much to every recipient. When they find out that they've won, I've watched them cry and scream, and they've sometimes got able to meet the families that they're representing. Mm-hmm. Such a meaningful program, and it makes everyone just feel so good.
When do you award it?
We award at the end of April.
So when do the students have to, or whoever, apply for it?
They apply in December. I think we start in December and ends in January 31st. So I think there's 6 weeks of application time.
Okay.
And so those applications have closed for this year, and we'll award in April for next school year.
Any particular qualifications for the students?
It really is about, it's not about your test scores. It's about your need, and it's about your leadership and why this is important to you. You write like 4 questions, short answers about just what does it mean to you to represent one of our angels, and what are you going to do in your lifetime to carry these legacies forward. So it's really meant to be able, for everyone to be able to participate. And it's not just always the kids with the best SAT scores who get the scholarship.
All right.
Awesome.
Then. So we are going to go to a commercial break. And we'll continue where we left off.
After these messages.
All right, so check it out. We'll be back momentarily. That's right.
WWNN AM Pompano Beach. WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting live from the Robes Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. This is the one and only. After our previous all-time record-breaking attendance concert, we're back. This time with a Motown tribute. The True Oldies Channel and Palm Beach County Parks and Recreation present the last show of the Carlin Park After Dark concert series. And we've left the best for last. On Saturday, April 8th, come see one of the most exciting and vibrant shows yet with Legends of Motown with the Crush Party Band. Get ready to dance the night away to some of the greatest Motown hits of all time. The Crush Party Band's Legends of Motown will take you on a trip through some of the greatest songs of the 60s and 70s. This free show is open to the public, but VIP pod seating is also available for purchase at TrueOldiesFLA.com. Don't be left out. It's the grand finale of the Carlin Park After Dark concert series. Saturday, April 8th at the Seabreeze Amphitheater in Jupiter, 750 South State Route A1A. Brought to you by Margaritaville at Sea, Sloman's 1-800-ALARM-ME, the Robes Law Group, the Jupiter Joe Money Show, online at JupiterJoe.com, and the True Oldies Channel. For more information or VIP seating, visit TrueOldiesFLA.com. Follow Oldies on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at True Oldies FLA. That's at True Oldies FLA.
RD Promo is the premier source of unique and captivating promotional products. Whether you need gifts for trade shows, corporate giveaways, holidays, or something in between, RD Promo is committed to the best services and products for our clients. Our expert account representatives are committed to your satisfaction and are prepared to help you find the promotional bags, gift items, and products you need. Our compelling corporate gifts meet high-quality standards and are designed to work for every budget. RD Promo makes promoting your business affordable, efficient, and fun. We work with high-end clients, advertising, and marketing firms alike to craft successful marketing campaigns for brands. Small businesses, major corporations, and multinational Fortune 500 companies have trusted us for their promotional product needs. Call 1-855-915-7377 or visit our website at rdpromo.com.
The Hideaway of Palm Beach. Free food all night from our gourmet kitchen. Drink and dance specials all night. Exclusive private VIP rooms. Top shelf bottle specials. The Hideaway Palm Beach. Come meet our top-notch bartenders and servers. And of course, the most beautiful entertainers in Palm Beach. The Hideaway. Palm Beach's hidden gem. The secret is out. The Hideaway Palm Beach. Located at 1152 Old Okeechobee Road, West Palm Beach. Open 4 p.m. to 5 a.m. 7 days a week. The Hideaway of Palm Beach.
All right, so check it out, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Congratulations, you made it. 6 Borough Power Hour, baby. Another day in the life, the sexiest place to be every Friday night from 6:30 to 8:30. Want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Hideaway Lounge and Club in Palm Beach. Get Solar with Tom, Pizza Rica, Boca Raton. Quick shout out to my host, Mag Chop Kenny, beautiful Denise, and my name is Nico. Of course, we got the one and only Joe Rubo. Take it away, Joe!
Welcome back, everyone. And I want to start this off with, I want to ask you about the One Pulse Academy. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the One Pulse Academy is our education arm. It's the house where we house all of our education programs. And so we've launched quite a few over the last few years. We have an incredible gentleman. His name is Dr. Earl Moad. He's a VP of Education, and he's been writing curriculum for us. So in the last couple of years, he's launched a program called Social Visionaries. And so that is an actual in-person one where we take art. Like it could be comedians, it could be movement or dance, and it becomes interactive with the audience to talk about tough issues. So he'll talk about like genderism or sexism, right? And so they have comedians, and it just reaches people in different ways. It kind of disarms them, and it feels like it's a hard conversation. And in the first couple of years, he's been doing something called conversation starters. And so he shows a short clip of a movie, and then they have the director or actors and people who are activists in those fields. So we're just trying to tackle topics that most people don't talk about in the LGBTQ community. Of course, there's AIDS conversations. There's conversations about intersectionality between the Black community and the gay community and faiths, and so it's a great way for people all around the world in those virtual programs to participate. We've had people as far as Australia tune in to be part of those programs, so it's been very successful, and it's our way to just tackle tough topics in different ways that people are comfortable.
So it's virtual and in person.
Yes, both different programs in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your fundraising events and your partnerships?
Yeah, so we do lots of those things, and they're all important. Something we do every single year. We started year one was our Community Rainbow Run. And that is a way that we kick off what we call our Remembrance Week. And so the Remembrance ceremony is always on June 12th. But what happened in our amazing community of Orlando is that everyone wanted to do something to commemorate what happened on June 12th. People will do, whether it be a dance party, it could be a church event, it could be a painting event, yoga, you name it, there's an event for it in Orlando. The problem was everyone was scheduling it on June 11th or 12th. So we as a community got together and made a week-long event. So you can find something to do every single day. And so to kick that off, we have this 4.9K in honor of our 49. And
4.9?
Yes.
5K.
49. 4.9.
I like it. 4.9. Less than I got it
Yes, and it's almost like a mini Pride. But the race route starts in a park, and it does run. It will run through the Survivors Walk. So you run past the trauma center, you run past the memorial, and back to the park. But there's live music. I mean, dogs are decked out in rainbow colors. Kids in strollers running.
How many people show up to this event?
About 3,000 every year.
Wow, that's a big
and it's
event.
a virtual. Yeah, it's a big event, and then we have virtual runners as well. So we've had sometimes up to over 900 virtual runners. So. Because everyone loves their medal.
How do you virtually run?
How do you virtually run?
Well, we send you your little medal, and your shirt, and you can videotape yourself running it. You send it to us, and we put that in there. You post it on your Facebook, and so it's a great way to support us. Some people don't do the run at all; they just take a picture, like, "Hey, I support."
That's
but whatever
fantastic.
it is,
Yeah, that's Joe's perfect idea of running 5 miles.
That's right. Yeah, it's a lot. It's so much fun if you're there.
Joe loves that idea. Quick, take a selfie.
People have done it. You'd be surprised.
Green
they have.
screen in the background.
I know,
Good,
Joe
huh?
loves it, right? Nico, quick, throw a cup of water on me. Oh, my face. It's unbelievable.
It's a lot of fun.
It sounds like it's a lot of fun. So you do have another event, right? Is there another one?
There's tons of events. So we actually have another one, Top Golf, which I'm sure you have them down.
Oh, yeah.
Top Golf
Huge.
is doing an event for us. This will be our second year that they are hosting us. They close the place down, and they give us a lot of in-kind to get this done, where we sell bays and tickets, and people play Top Golf all night. But they also have great food. Drinks are included, some drag shows, some great entertainment. There's people fire breathing and all kinds of just fun things. It's like not like the Top Golf you've ever experienced, but it's a great place to have a lot of fun. It brings people together, but a lot of people bring their teams, their offices, a great way to reward their employees, and just friends come out and have a great time. It's so fun because it's probably one event we do that you just see so many straight men at, they're just playing golf and having a great time.
And what about the International Gay Polo Tournament? What's that about?
This will be our second year that they are, Gay Polo's been happening here in Wellington every year for God knows how many years. But last year they chose One Pulse as a beneficiary.
Last year?
Yes, was our first year. So this year it'll return in
Oh,
April.
wonderful.
Yeah. So
what is that
Wellington.
one?
I think it's April 5th, 6th.
We'll have to go.
Second weekend in April.
It's a great event. I love that.
It's so
Get to
much
wear your
fun.
hat and all
And
that.
yes, a lot of hats. And they have a wig party, so that's fun, at a VIP event. So that's another one that's been happening for us down here in South Florida. I believe there's also a concert this year up in the Panhandle up near, I think it's Miramar Beach, not the Miramar we have down here, with Miramar up
So you have
there.
a lot
There's
of
a
events
festival.
down here.
Yeah, they also have the Rainbow Run.
That's the Community Rainbow
That's a
Run
community,
that happens in June.
That's in Orlando, right?
Joe, we got to
That's in
go on one of
Orlando
these
and
runs,
virtual.
bro.
I'm
You know
going to
what
do
I
it
mean?
virtually.
Me and you, I'll get you the costume, bro. Let me pick out your costume.
Virtually,
you can pick
I
out
would
mine.
do it.
You know what I mean? I got yours already ready.
Do virtual.
We already had this
No
discussion.
virtual, Joe. We're going
If you
hands
see
on.
me running, something's wrong.
I was going to say,
Run with him.
there's a fire.
Yeah, if he's running, run with him.
Should I call my attorney for you?
And you have, of course, the anniversary will be coming up soon. Right?
Yes, June 12th every year we hold the remembrance ceremony. And again, we've had up to 3,000 people come out to that every year at the club site, and people who also watch it around the country and the world. We broadcast it.
So I haven't shared it, but June 12th was my birthday.
Is it really?
And I remember the morning that, the day and that whole
That's
thing.
my parents' anniversary, too.
Yeah. So it'll forever never be forgotten for me on that particular day. It was just it was my birthday, which I don't like to really recognize very much, but that particular day it was somber. It was a very somber day.
Your birthday's in
I got
June.
married
sure.
on June 12th.
You got married on
You
June
did?
12th? Wow.
And so did my
Gosh.
parents.
No way. Congratulations.
Interesting.
Yeah. June 12th, popular day.
It is.
Who knew? So let's see. We have any more questions? Let's see what we got. Kenny, you have
I'm
one
sure
there?
you do.
The work of the foundation that you guys are doing. Obviously, right now and everything like that. What is your goal, like future-wise? What do you see? How do you think it's going to affect people in the future to keep this foundation going? And what are the future plans for it?
I think it's going to be forever evolving. I mean, how it opens and what it's doing for the first 5 years will be different in the next 5 years, because what happens in our country and what's happening in our climate will always be changing. And I think that's what's the most important part for me, is to make sure that it evolves and it doesn't become a stagnant place. And I'm hoping the conversations we're having today are not the same conversations we're having in 5 to 10 years from today, right?
Of course.
And so we could show that progress. So the idea is that it changes over time with what's happening in our world and in our country and our state and with our kids.
Wow. Nice.
Do you, once again, everyone, we are speaking with Barbara Poma, so with the One Pulse Foundation. And if you want to get involved, how would they wind up doing that?
It's really easy. You can sign up on our website. It's www.onepulsefoundation.org, all spelled out. You could sign up there to get our newsletter, so you find out what we're doing, what's happening, what's upcoming, and ways to participate, whether you can volunteer or join the virtual run. There's so many ways to engage with us and stay in contact.
We have links on our
with us.
website.
Yes, we do have the link on our website, so you can go to www.powerupradiotv.com, and if you actually click under our nonprofit tab, you can see it on there, and it'll bring you, click through there, and it'll bring you right over to their website, and so you get registered with us, and we'll keep you informed of what's going on in their world, and they'll keep us informed of what's going on in their world. We really do appreciate you sharing so much with us. This particular foundation, once again, everyone, to look up the foundation, it's onepulsefoundation.org is how you can actually also find them, but we do appreciate going through our website to get to theirs. If you were to say, one of the things of what we do during this particular hour is we want to provide inspiration and motivation, and given everything that's going on today with, the shootings of so many different locations, it's just crazy. What are your thoughts now with respect to maintaining a safety caliber when approaching premises like this? And I mean, now that you've been through this, is there any words that you would say to others to say, take caution and precaution?
Sure. I think that everybody at any time, growing up as women, we were always told, make sure when you walk into your car, you're not alone, you have your keys out, right? It's being alert and paying attention to certain things. I know that for everyone I've talked to that is either inside Pulse that night or is of the LGBTQ community and frequents bars, they go, that changed me that night. I now, when I walk into any building, I will say, where are the exits in here? How am I getting out? And so knowing your exits, being aware of people who are walking in around you. If it is 100 degrees outside and someone walks in with a long coat, take notice.
Yeah. That's the guy with the gun.
Yeah, it's just, you have to be alert and you have to be aware all the time. You really cannot put your guard down. And talking about shootings every day, I don't want people to become desensitized to this loss of life, to be captured by a number. Oh, it was only 5. Well, when is that acceptable? People talk about that.
A lot of these shootings now are starting to be like copycat shootings. Everybody wants to be in the news.
It's so cowardly. It's
the worst.
It's so cowardly. When I was growing up, I grew up in the hood in Chicago. We had school shootings, but we were given a sporting chance. They're in a moving vehicle. The roads aren't, you had, now these guys, they're going in these places where it's confined.
Yeah.
And they're shooting the places up, and it's like, come on, man, it's insanity.
It's a multi-pronged approach. I grew up here, South Florida, in the 80s. We're bullied all the time. At no point in time did I think I'm going to go home, find a gun, and go back to my school and kill those people. That never crossed our mind back then.
There's never an excuse.
It just wasn't. But something is, made it a shift, and I think that we have to think about what is it. We know there's a gun issue in a way that should we have assault rifles. And everyone says, well, even if you got rid of assault rifles, there'll still be shootings. I'm like, yes, but there wouldn't be 49 in a minute, right? Mm-hmm. So think about minimizing it. But I also think it's about fixing the human. Like, what makes that the answer?
Fix the people.
Fix the people.
It's definitely the people.
There's no empathy left in our world.
I don't know if I may, in regards to, say, the gun itself. Like, guns don't shoot people. You know what I mean? A gun sit there. I think maybe possibly, I don't really care how big the gun is. I think in regards to, let's say, to hone that down would be they only can keep 5 bullets in it. Something stupid like that, where I have this big elephant gun, whatever it may, I only can shoot it 5 times, and then I got to reload. In those several seconds or moments, lives could have been lived, saved by running out or what have you.
That's right. Large capacity magazines is what you're talking about, and you're exactly right.
Absolutely horrible as far as.
But then only the criminal and the crazy people have the illegal guns anyway.
Right, of course.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the hard part of it.
Yeah. But you have to remember,
it's a whole nother discussion.
It's not the criminals that are doing this. These are these young kids. Crazy. Lots of time. Yeah, young kids.
It's just sad how people, defenseless people, just having a good time. Kids at school. I'd be scared now to send my kids to school.
I know.
Well, there are many signs. Mm-hmm. And that's where we as the citizen, you as the parent, you out and about, your friends and whatnot, there are signs. You need to be aware of what those signs are. If they're acting differently, or if, for example, they're talking just out of school in the sense of, wanting to hurt others. Look out for the signs.
Absolutely.
Speak up.
There's never been has not been a shooter yet that people haven't said,
Yep,
oh,
exactly.
yeah, I didn't see
Yeah,
that
I've seen it coming.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
knew. So I always, when I'm talking to young kids, I always say, when you see someone who doesn't have anyone to sit with at lunch,
yes,
connect to that person. If you see someone who is, by themselves in the corner of doesn't have any friends, these are the people should be connecting
Yeah,
to.
so they just
because
stopped somebody. I was watching the news a couple of weeks ago. Some kid that was going to shoot up a school or something.
Mhm.
Somebody heard
Yeah.
him talking about it. You remember hearing about
I do.
that? Yeah,
I do.
They went to his house. They saw all the ammunition, the
Yep.
rounds, and they got him.
Hey, listen.
Everybody be friends with the crazy kids so they don't shoot you.
Was he
No,
was he a
it's
single
help them.
parent child? Like that's normally kind of like I
There
believe
are
it's a
all
dual
kinds of
parents.
signs,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
All
If
walks
you're
of
hands
life.
on with your child, if I may, I have children. I would know if my daughter's planning a bomb to go and kill people at school.
You would like to think so, yes.
You
But
never
I would know.
You
I
never
go through
know.
my
You
kids'
never
stuff.
know what's going on
We
in
grew up in the
somebody's
80s. They
mind.
didn't even know where we were. So I don't know.
No, they did not, yes.
Yeah, there were no mass shootings then.
I don't remember any at all
We didn't
during
have
our
the
time.
media we had, so we weren't connected. We had no idea if they were happening all
It's
over the
true.
country.
Yeah, we didn't have
We had-
this.
yeah.
That's right.
This all goes back to, again, as I said, being aware. This is why I brought it up. Aware in the sense of your surroundings.
Yeah.
You know where you are, number one. See signs. If you hear or see signs, bring it to someone's attention. Stop the bullying and the shaming, because that just sends people down to another level of just potentially taking themselves and lashing out in ways that can hurt so many.
Exactly.
So I really would want everyone to please just always be in touch with your family and friends, your children, your neighbors' kids. It doesn't matter. The teachers, everyone is responsible. It takes a village. It really does. So, going forward, you have our support in all of your efforts. I think what you're doing is fantastic. I am curious, though. We don't have a layout of what it actually looks like. I envision that there is the museum, there's the inside. Give us a little bit of an idea of what the actual layout is right now.
So it's a 3-part campus, really. So where the memorial it will be is where Pulse Nightclub is.
Okay.
So that's where the memorial
Is that
itself will
indoors
be.
or outdoors?
It's all outdoors. The building is closed. It's never been reopened, and you won't enter it. So it's an outside park around the building. So that's where the memorial will be.
Okay.
And then about a third of a mile down the street is where the Education Center Museum will be built.
Okay.
So there'll be a shuttle that takes you in between the two of those. Because in between, there's this not where you'll see where Pulse is located if you ever get to Orlando. That it's in a neighborhood, and then there was a power station. So there's not a lot of property. It was south of downtown. So Pulse itself has a small piece of property, and then the 3-block journey to the hospital. So it kind of makes like an L.
So the building will never be occupied. Is that
correct?
Is that for the legacy? For as long as that could ever be.
Yes, and during our lifetime. I mean, if something happens long after we're gone, people make different decisions. That's fine. It's why we chose to preserve the building, is because we're too close to it. I had to re-enter the building about 4 weeks and 2 days after the shooting with the FBI. I knew once I stepped foot in there that we should not be dancing in there, and I know that a lot of people felt it was a 50-50 split. It was like, we have to reopen it because you can't let him take it away from us, right? And then there was the other half going, absolutely not. It's sacred space. And I walked in it and I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Close the door, walk
Just can't
out.
change
Nope.
what happened in there.
Cannot.
Or knock it
so
down and
became-
start over. You know
correct.
what I mean?
It was a very hallowed, sacred space. And
Yeah.
so we just locked it up and let people figure out what to do with it in 50 years when we're not here.
Is it
and
being
someone else.
maintained though?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's interesting. I mean, I think that's very honorable in the sense of, unfortunately what happened, but I think it represents so much more than just what happened. It is exactly the unity, the love, just embracing everyone, and respect. It comes down to respect, and you're doing that. Kudos to you. Congratulations on making such a commitment.
Thank you.
I
I'm sure
really
you're making
recommend
your
that and
brother
commend
very
you on
proud.
that.
If you're my sister and you did, it's amazing, if I may. Absolutely, truly amazing what you've done.
Thank you very much. I have not done it alone. I have a great team of people.
Well, I'm sure you
who've
have a
grown with
team,
me.
but if I
Yes.
may, as the leader, or part of the leader, whatever, I know you're a little on the down low. I don't want to take all the credit, but nonetheless, it still was your brother, and it's a heartfelt situation. And for you to be a victim and turn it out to be a positive, I salute you, I applaud you, and you're truly magical.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
I wanted to make sure that I closed with your segment before we move on to the close of our show. I really wanted to make sure that this was read, and it's, again, everyone, One Pulse Foundation. The fund is intended to support a memorial that opens hearts, a museum that opens minds, educational programs that open eyes, and a legacy scholarships that open doors. Contributions from generous individuals, foundations, corporations, and government entities directly support all of the National Pulse Memorial and museum design, construction, land acquisition costs, operations, community, educational programs, and 49 legacy scholarships. This is a defining mission and healing initiative that we hope inspires supporters who share the vision and understand the solemn and sacred responsibility to which this community has been entrusted. I saw that and I wanted to read it for you. And I think that, once again, anyone that wants to get involved in any events that are local to us here, we're going to be putting them up on our website. Again, you go to the our nonprofit site, and you can go in there and actually find out and see all the events that are coming up. You're welcome to put your events on our website. And this is the event that we were talking about earlier. It's
cruise.
the 6th. Yeah, this is the actual flyer that talks about the cruise that's coming up on June 4th of this year. And it's a 6-nighter. What cruise line are we using on this? Well, Celebrity.
Yeah.
We're using the Celebrity Equinox. Great. And you got some talent that's going to be on there too. Well, this is a great little event. This is fabulous. So if anyone wants to know more about that, you can go right to the website as well. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We're so proud to have been a part of this. And you were here before we even knew it, just from the little bit that we've had as far as our video. And you know what? You have a great add-on addition. My very good friend, Jennifer Buchanan, who's here with us today, this in the audience. And continue the good work. You've got our support. You got our platform.
Thank you.
And continue your work.
Thank you all very, very much. It's wonderful
You're
to meet you all.
welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. So, Joe, this has been an interesting thing because, one thing that we always wanted to do every month was to focus on a particular foundation organization that is doing great work. This was a monumental, unfortunate incident that occurred.
Yes.
It's not one that you can forget.
No,
And,
I mean, when you told me what was going on, I went and dug up that video because I remember,
yeah,
that because our studio was in the heart of Wilton Manors, so we're, in that community, and we got to that right away.
Yeah, I mean, it's the intention of everything for what they did, and unfortunately, this is also an awareness that we need to ensure that we are all alert to everything and everywhere we are. We can't take things for granted anymore. If you're with friends, you go someplace with friends, you leave with friends. If you're going to, go anywhere, know where the exit is. If you have children, know where they're going, who they're with. It's so much easier to communicate today with everyone. You don't have to, like how we grew up, we knew, our parents' whistle. Now we have a phone.
I feel like it's kind of like hood rules.
Yeah.
I go to a restaurant and I'm sitting, but my back is facing the
I have
door.
to
I'm
face
watching.
the
I
door,
know
yeah.
how many people are in that restaurant.
That's because you're ghetto. That's what most
I park my car in reverse in the parking
Guido,
lot.
a Puerto
in case I need
Rican,
to
they
go.
know the deal. Watch the door. Forget about it.
Park trained
Save
me.
yourself. He's the type of guy, he had dinner, something pops off, he leaves you at the table, honey. Don't worry about it. I'll come back.
I'll tell the story. Somebody's got to tell the story.
Yes, exactly.
And he was like, officer, this is how it went down. They shot my girlfriend, I ran.
And I was gone.
No, you have to be aware, and I grew up that way too. Never have your back to anything. Never.
It was just how it was. It was how we grew up. You
You
had to watch your back. You had to know. I was funny because my wife grew up in Puerto Rico, and I grew up in Chicago. And so one day I told her, I was like, when you walk into the car, to me it's common sense. Look under the car. Make sure nobody's going to cut your ankles and you fall.
Where the heck
And
did
she
you
was
grow
like,
up?
Your ankles?
What's your ankle?
Hey,
Would you have the midget people?
How is this guy going on?
I walk around my car. Look
You know
at the
that
back
area
seat
of
before I
Chicago
get
where
in.
we're all really broke? Spin the wheel, bro.
See, I was
things I grew up doing.
I was different. I had
Did she divorce you then?
No.
I don't think things are gonna work out.
I didn't look under the car. I had people go start the car for me.
Yeah, right? Yeah, right, Joe. That's the type of name I'm going to.
Hey, go start the car. What do you mean go
The guy that
start
wanted to
it?
kill me did not.
Warm it up for me. Warm up the car for me.
Taste this food first. Taste the food.
It's a responsibility, I also believe, of if there are sporting events or venues, they have a responsibility to have a plan.
It's just a totally different mindset nowadays, and you have to adapt to it. We can make light of it, laugh about it, but it's a very serious subject.
It's serious. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's out of control. It's unnecessary.
You know-
if I may, if you're going to do something like say kill someone, which is horrible, maybe pick someone you know, not just random people, just mind their own business. I'm just saying, if you're going to do it, let's just focus.
Don't just say that.
Make a list.
Make sure they deserved it.
Start knocking off the guy at the
No, I always say if you hate people, kill yourself. Don't kill any innocent people.
Okay, we're going to end on that note.
Yeah.
No killing, period. All right? In the Six Barrel.
We're
No.
killing them the next show.
Yes, where no one's going to be killing
No
anyone.
more whacking anybody.
Nobody, that's it. No, all said and done with, all in good spirit. Everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. We have a great show next week. If you want to catch us again, go to our YouTube channel. And that's, of course, the Six Barrel, the Power Up Hour. Everyone, have a great weekend.
All right, thank you so much for watching the Six Barrel, the sexiest place to be every Friday night from 6:30 to 8:30. Quick shout out to our sponsors, Hideaway Lounge and Club, Get Solar with Tom, Pizza Rica. We are live. Give it up for Kenny, Denise, Joe, and Nico. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the Six Barrel and Power Hour. Yalla Baligan! Whoop, 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 whoop. Look at
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its